Hi everyone, thanks for listening this message. In recent times, we got messages that do we have any program, any course where we can go enroll and we will be very much eligible for the job market. What does it means that if you go and check the IT portals, you can see that you have different course packages for CCNA, then CCNP, then firewall, then cloud, then automation, etc. Right? So what we have done that we created one program for those engineers who want everything at one place and they are new to the market, or maybe they want to enhance their skill set. So we created such program, Joint. Joint is something like job oriented internetworking training. Now in this program, you can see that we have added CCNA routing switching, cloud virtualization part of VMware, CCNA or associate level wireless knowledge, Cisco Meraki, Google Cloud associate level knowledge, not entire course, but how much you need um, to get clear in your interview, or when you are working on this cloud environment, you are not new to that cloud environment. Then Python, then routing switching, ASA firewall, and then we are adding firepower as well. So not only ASA firewall, but next generation firewall. Then we are going to add Cisco SD-WAN, Cisco DNA, etc. Like what we want, that we want to make this course as a complete package course, in terms that once you go and complete these areas, you write, you can write in your profile, in your CV, that you know these technologies. And apart from that, not only this course, once you go and use the Joint 9, that's the code here, and if you apply, you will get maximum 85-86% discount on this course. So not only that we are offering the discount coupon, but apart from that, we are giving the lab, EVNG lab. So whoever will go and join this particular course, they will go and get the EVNG lab as well, so they can practice routing switching, right? So what you need a solid foundation, solid course where you can gain the technology knowledge. Then you need the lab environment where you can go and do hands-on practice. And then you can go and add these areas in your profile and go for interviews and all, right? So on other words, in simple words, I can tell this thing that if you go to Udemy or YouTube, I have so many different courses I created just to obviously earn money. So many courses I have, but this is the only course I created actually for the IT professionals, actually for you, where I want that you can go and get the job. That's why I have added whatever I have 15, 16 years of training experience. I have added all the best things from there, in terms of that you gain knowledge, whatever gray areas you have. Someone knows networking, don't know automation and cloud. Someone knows networking, they don't know firewalling technology, security areas. So that means that you can go enroll this course, gain the knowledge on those areas that you don't know. Or suppose if you have only 1 or 2 years of experience, then you can start this journey, complete the entire course within 5 to 6 months or maybe 3 months, and then add these things within your CV profile and get the job. So this is something like job oriented or career oriented training that is going to help you to get the job and right knowledge to showcase in your profile. All right, thanks for watching this video. Good job, everyone. You have completed section 1 of DC Core. Along with, you have completed so many things. You have completed DC Core, section 1, DC ACI, VXLAN. Now, we will move to section 2 of DC Core, that is compute, UCS and compute. So here you can see that you have full-fledged 30 videos that is actually waiting for you, that you'll go crack those videos, go through these videos and learn the concepts related to UCS, UCS manager, Hyperflex, No, lot of things are there. Intersight is there. This is as per the DC core agenda, right? So you please go start learning these videos slowly, step by step. You can go and complete these videos, and once you complete these 30 videos, you will complete section 2 of DC core. All right, great. We reached to section number 2, where we have to learn about compute, and you can see the total weightage is 25%. So we should complete this section to gain this 25% of the weightage. All right, what are the topics we have? This again is structured here. You'll find that first few section, starting from 2.1 up to actually up to 2.2e, it is asking and checking your knowledge related to UCS plus a storage area network. So what I have done here is this, that section starting with section 2.1, 2.2 up to 2.2. Let's focus on these topics first. Once we complete up to 2.1 up to 2.2, then we'll go and check 2.2D and 2.2E, and then we'll go to move to the Hyperflex. Okay, so let's crack this section slowly one by one. So we should not leave anything, and we should understand each and every concept related to this compute infrastructure. Now coming to 2.1 and some topics related to 2.2, what I have done that I created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 videos. First of all, you will go and understand about the UCS architecture, the chassis connectivity. And I have shown some Cisco websites where you can go and have a visual representation of chassis, blade, servers, etc. Okay, so in the video, you will find that how you can go and navigate through those big extensions or some sort of animation, correct? Then UCS bring up process, their dashboard walkthrough. Then what is service profile? That's one of the key thing we have to understand service profile. And then lab related to service profile template, service profile, and then how you can bring up, means how you can associate the service profile with any of the blade server, and then the server will boot up inside the UCS. Correct. So once you go and complete these 8 videos, you will be good inside UCS, how it is working, what are the functions, what are the key concepts inside UCS, etc. Then slowly we'll go and move to the storage area network, and then we'll go and move to the Hyperflex to complete section 2. We have UCS architecture. What are the components we have inside the UCS fabric or inside the UCS architecture? So you can see that I have the chassis. So maybe chassis 1 to chassis 20. Then inside the chassis, obviously I need to insert the servers. So apart from that, we have the blade servers inserted inside the chassis. Those blade servers, they have the CNA, Converse Network Adapter, or the WIC card. Now these WIC cards, they have internal pinning towards the fabric extender or IO module. This IO module is connected with the fabric interconnect FI. So these FICs are connected with FIA and FIB. And then on the northbound, I have the traffic related to SAN, traffic related to Ether channel or Ethernet. Then we have the management interfaces as well. So here you can see the chassis and the blade server. These fabric interconnect, they are actually managed via the UCS manager. So let me show you the other diagram as well, where we'll see the actual hardware type of stuffs. So here you can see that, okay, I have chassis, say for example, UCS 5108 blade server, where I can insert either half width, say for example, UCS B200 M4, or full width, say for example B240M4 or 420M4 or 260M4, like that. Then not only the half width and full width, I have 2 into full width as well. So that is a UCS B460. Later, I'll show you the diagram. Means we have the 3D view from the Cisco side. You can go to the Cisco side. You can check the 3D view as well. I'll show you that also. But overall, these chassis is, so here you can see that I may have one chassis or may have number of chassis connected. Overall, all the chassis and blade servers, they have something called IO module. And from those IO module or the fabric extenders, they are going to be connected with the fabric interconnects. Now this fabric interconnect and the entire UCS architecture or UCS fabric, they are going to be managed via the UCS manager, that is the software we have. So now you can see that all the components that we have here inside this UCS fabric. So these are the things that we have inside the UCS. We have the fabric interconnect that can connect with the SAN, LAN or the management traffic. We have UCS manager from where we are going to the manage entire infrastructure. We have input output modules that is connected in between the server and the FI module. We have big chassis 5108. Inside that we have blade server. Inside the servers we have the converged network adapters or the WIC cards. Now what are the main components we have then? Components we can tell, okay, we have the fabric interconnects, we have the chassis, we have the IO modules. Inside IO module we have the chassis switch manager or chassis management switch. We have chassis management control as well. Now let me show you the other things as well. So we have the components and the same thing that we have discussed. This fabric interconnect, they have L1 and L2 interfaces just to see that they are these cluster of interconnects, they are up and running or not. And then you can see the IO modules as well. So let me show you that also. We have the IO module. Like this, it is connected with FIA and FIB, fabric interconnect A and B. And then we have the WIC card. So WIC card, they have the internal pinning towards the IO module. And then IO module, they are connected with the fabric interconnect. So either inside the, say, UCS, because by the end of the day that you can think as a big server where you can install hypervisor and install VMs. So they can internally communicate from east to west, or the traffic can go from south to north. So if it will go south to north, it will go from the WIC card to IO module to the fabric interconnect to the outside. All right, then we have fabric interconnect and its data sheet. Even we can go to the Cisco site and we can check the fabric interconnect data sheet. We have FI6332, that is the 32 port. We have 16 unified port also. We have IO module. Here you can see the IO module as well. All these modules I am going to show you in the Cisco 3D view as well. Now inside this FI fabric interconnect, you can see that this section is for L1, L2 link, that one fabric interconnect will be connected to the other fabric interconnect to see the heartbeats. Then you have 26 into 40 port Q SFP plus or 98 into 10 gig SFP plus. For that you need 4 into SFP breakout cable for these interfaces. Then by the end you have 6 into 40 Q SFP plus. Apart from that, we can see that we have the power slots, we have the 4 fan slots, we have the serial port, we have the management interface as well. Alright, so let me log into the Cisco site where I can go and show you the 3-dimensional view of all these things. So you can see Cisco UCSB series server M4 3D model, and if I click here, let me expand this. Let me scroll it down a little bit, and yeah. So here you can see that this is FI 6332 16 UP, and let me show you one by one all these things. So first of all, we can see the front view. This is the front view where we have different type of servers connected. So M4 B series servers, we have the SATA drives, we have the FI connected on the top. Now one by one I can show you the server. So first of all, we'll see B200 M4 blade. It will remove and it will show. So it is removing. This is B200 M4, and we can go and check the blade servers and the specifications. So I can stretch it, scroll it down. You can also go and check all the chips and the circuits, and even we can expand this and we can read what are the things. We have the RAM slots and the hard disk and the other specifications related to servers. Then let me go and let me show you the 460 and 260. First of all, we'll see 260 because that is the full width. This is actually the half width. You can see it is going half inside the chassis. So if we are talking about 5108, so that means that 5108, it can have 8 servers. Now in the diagram also you can see that it has 8 servers. So if I go back here and if I show you this full front view, so front view you can see that we have, let me stretch it, we have one, let me little bit small. So I have 1 2 3 4. At the moment it is showing only 3 blade servers. Why? Because either you can have half width 2 and then 1 2 3 4, means you have 4 slots. If you are using half width server, then you can have 8. Say for example, if you are using 2 by 2 type of server, then you can insert only 2, correct? So if I am using say 460, at that time I can use only 2 servers. If I am using 260, then I can insert 4. If I am using 200, then I can insert 8. Okay, so let me quickly show you the 460. You can see it will take 2 by 2 of the space. It is in the cluster of the servers, and here it is. So likewise we can see all those things. Apart from that, if I want to see the scalability of UCS, so that also it will show. Let us see the scalability, and this is actually the cabling. You can see here, and in this cabling, let me scroll down, and on the top you can see that I have fabric interconnect, and here we have the IO module. So how the construction of UCS is, the IO modules, the blue wires, then you have the chassis. These chassis, they are connected. So these IO modules, obviously they are going to FIA and FIB if I have A and B type of construction. But I can see overall I have so many say blade servers. So 1 2 3 4 5, and then 1 2 3 4. So 5 into 4 means 20 I have in this diagram. It is showing, and it is showing how the cables are connected. We can go and check the cable and connections as well, correct? Then we can go and check the fabric interconnect and the IO module as well. So let me show you first the IO module and where it is. So here it is, the IO module. About the IO module, also we can go and read. This is 2304. So 1 2 3 4 interfaces I have. Then I can go and check the interface. Fabric interconnect. On the top you can see that I have the fabric interconnect. It is showing the wiring. Let me show you this fabric interconnect if I can have this without wiring, or otherwise I need to open a new Cisco site where we'll go and check this fabric interconnect. On the top you can see this is the fabric interconnect without wiring as well. But here also we can see that okay, we have L1 L2 interfaces, then we have the interfaces for Ethernet specifically, then we have for FCOE that can be converted as well. All right, and then finally let's see how the cabling is there. So I can go and click here wiring. We know that the cabling is in a way that the IO module will be cabled. So here you can see the 4 interfaces, they are going on the top, 4 interfaces they are going in the bottom, like that. So this is the overall structure and the architecture of the UCS. In the next section we'll learn more about this. UCS chassis connectivity. How we are going to connect the IO module to the FI, that is my fabric interconnect. So we have option, either I can use, say for example, one port from one IO module, one port from other IO module in the same chassis, or I can pair 2 2 or 4 4 8 8. But it depends on which type of IO module we are using. Is it 2304 or is it 2208? Obviously 4 stand that I have 4 interfaces, and 8 stands for that I have 8 different interfaces. So it depends upon the nature and what is the requirement we have, what type of connectivity we require. So for example, here you can see that 2208 I have 8 into 10 gigi unified fabric ports. Here in 2204 and 2104 I have 4 interfaces that I can connect. Then we can see that whatever overall throughput I have. Now here you can see that important difference is that for example, this 2208 I have 8 interfaces that can connect with the fabric interconnect. Parallelly, I have 32 interfaces for internal ports. So that's the difference we have. We'll discuss about a NIF, network interfaces, and then we have HIF, that is the host interfaces. So we have different option inside different IO modules for the network interfaces and the host interfaces. For example, 2204, you can see that I have 4 network interface or fabric interconnect, 16 internal ports. That means internal pinning towards the servers. So what does it mean? Before moving further, I just wanted to show you this so we will be clear at this particular point. Here you can see the internal diagram. So suppose if I am using, say, 3 plus 3 means 6 half width servers and one full width server. Overall capacity I have actually 8 half width or 4 full width servers. So here you can see that okay, I can use that, and here the IO module you can see. So IO module I can use, for example, say 2208, because on the top you can see I have 8 different interfaces. So in this case I have 8 NIF interfaces, and then I have 32 HIF interfaces. 32 HIF interfaces are these interfaces that I can connect with the server. So now you can see that if I group 4 4 4, so I can connect, say you can see 4 plus 4. Some of the servers here are hosted over ESXi, and again it depends upon which type of NIC card we are using. So some of the NIC card you can see those are supporting 8 interfaces. 4 plus 4 means 4 will go in this and 4 will go in this. Some of the WIC like 1240, it is supporting 2 interfaces, so 2 can go here and 2 can go here. In the Palo or WIC card, I can see that it is supporting 4 plus 4. So if you add total number of interfaces that I can pin towards here, that will be 4 plus 4 plus 4 4 and 2. So overall 4 into 4 plus 2, that means 18.
but still I have capability that I can accommodate 32 host interfaces. So 18 here and 18 here is still a few of the interfaces will be empty. So if I add this, say 4, 4, all the green ones, 2 and then 8 and then 1, 1 and then 4. So how much total is 12 and then 2, 14 and then 2. So 14 plus 2, 16 plus 8. So it will be approx 24 actually in the number. So it depends. Still I have total 32 ports here, 32 ports here. But you can understand the internal, these are the HIF interfaces, these are the NIF interfaces. Behind the scene, the internal tracing will be like that. Now suppose if you are using full width type of line card or the blade server, so if I'm using this B444 at these 4 places, at that time I have say 8 requirements, so 8 NIC card I needed, so 8 into 4, that means complete 32 this direction, complete 32 this direction. So again it depends that which type of blade servers we are using, so the internal tracing will go like that. I hope now we'll understand the terms about what does it mean by northbound FIAs and what does it mean by southbound blades. So if in the older say 2104, I have option only for 8 number of HIFs and 4 number of NIF. In the 2204, you can see 4 plus 16 I can use. So that's why if you go generation by, if you go into the next generation, for example 2304, here you will find that how many NIF you have. So here I have 4 NIF and 32 HIF, host interfaces and the network interfaces. Like that we can again compare. Better we can go to the Cisco site and we can check the data sheet, and then we can compare all these connectivity options that we have, that is showing over the IO module or the fabric interconnect. So IO module or the fix and IO module and in between the fabric interconnect, and how it will be internally mapped. All right, so let's stop here.
So we are going to learn about the bring up process. We have the chassis. Those chassis, we have FIA and FIB. We can connect FIA and FIB with the console. And once we connect this with the console, then we can go and do the bring up process. These FIAs, they have back-to-back connection with L1 and L2 interfaces, so the control plane will sync. Now, one very important thing here is this, that both the FIAs, FIA and B, they have their independent control and data plane. So that means that if we are doing any configuration to FIA, we have to do the same configuration to FIB as well. So that's very important thing. Now in this FIA and FIB, we are going to do the console, and I will show you the steps. It's actually easy to do the configuration. How we are going to do the configuration for A and B. The FIA is termed as a primary and FIB we are telling as a subordinate. But again, repeating the thing that they are different control planes and they will sync although, but still we have to console it independently and we have to do the configuration. Now, so as a summary, that we have one chassis, and in that chassis we know that we have IO module. So IO module will go and connect with FIA and FIB. These FIA and FIB will do the console one by one. So let me do the console. Let me show you the steps first. So here you can see that once you do the console, and you will see that you want to enter the configuration mode via the console or GUI. Suppose if I go and give the console, then so here is the method is console, and then it will ask that enter the setup mode, setup newly or restore from backup. Now we want to do the setup newly, so I'll go and type setup, and once we'll do the setup, then again it will go and ask you series of questions. So enter the setup mode, setup newly or restore the backup. We are giving the setup mode. Have you chosen a setup new fabric? Yes. and then it will tell you to give strong password, and then it will go to page number 2. So in page number 2, obviously it will go and ask you that enter the fabric as is A or B, give the system name, what is your management IP, management subnet mask, what's the default gateway, what's the cluster IP. Remember, 3 IPs are important, and you can see here in the bottom, FIA IP, that's the physical IP, FIB IP, that's the physical IP, and then virtual IP. So suppose we are using IP 10, 11, and 12. So 10 for FIA physical, 11 for FIB physical, and 12 for the virtual IP. Correct? So 10, 11, and one VIP IP we are using as a virtual IP. Then it will ask you that give the DNS server IP, what's your default domain name, etc. Now, one very interesting thing that it will ask you that you want to connect with UCS Central. Now, what is UCS Central? UCS Central is a centralized platform where you can connect multiple UCS manager domain. At the moment, we don't want to do it. But once we do the configuration for FIA with the console, next we want to do the console to FIB, and we want to configure FIB next. Correct. But we know that we have the back-to-back connection L1, L2, so it will go and sync most of the configuration in 5 minutes to FIB. But once you go and do the console to FIB, it has the information, whatever you can learn from FIA, such as management IP, subnet mask, gateway, etc., VIP IP, etc. But still, you have to go and give at least two things. What's the FIB host name, and what's the physical IP address of FIB? Now, once we'll go and provide the IPs, so FIA has the information. Now FIB will also get synced, and now we are actually ready to log in. So because we have the IP for the UCS manager, we can use although the management IP, and then we can log into UCS manager. So in a summary, you can go and log into FIB, and there what you need to do, something it will learn, and you have to give the physical IP, you have to give the name of the FI. Once you give those physical switch management IP, etc., then we are ready to go. Now, once we are ready to go, then we can go and uh, log into FIA management IP via the GUI. And once we are logging via the GUI, we'll see. So let me go and log in this via the GUI, so you can see that what option we will get there. Correct. So not this one. Let me quickly go and log into the IP 198.180.10. And then you will see that how the dashboard look like. So first of all, it will ask you to validate the certificate. We can go and go to the advanced, and then we can validate it. At the moment, we'll accept the risks and continue. But you should have the valid certificate in our web browser. Then it will tell you that, okay, UCS manager, you can log in via the launch UCS manager, via the launch KVM manager. At the moment, we want to launch via the UCS manager. And from here onwards, we will learn in the upcoming video. So in upcoming video, once we log in successfully, I'll show you that what different type of tabs we have inside the UCS, and then we will expand from there. All right,
So now it is asking about the username and the password, and we'll go and give the username and password to this. So initially Cisco has given, if you see some old document or maybe 1 year, 2 year back PPTs, you'll find they have given some flash type of access. Now the access that we are using is something like HTML5. So here the
Okay.
display will be very different. In our PPT also, if you see, that was flash. So we are
Yeah.
we are opening the devices on all these things inside the flash. Now, at the moment we open that, you can see that nice GUI. It's actually very nice GUI where you can go and it will tell you everything. So suppose if you know this theoretically, then
Uh-huh.
you can go and check each and everything. It's very straightforward. So first of all, we have this equipment task. Then you can see we have the server, LAN, SAN, VM, storage, and chassis. So what are the things we have first of all in the networking? So we have, so for example, LAN, SAN, VM, that is virtualization, and storage. These things we have at least 4 things. Apart from that, we have the servers, because we have the servers and we have the chassis. So very straightforward, simple tabs. Alright, so if I go inside the equipment, and the nice thing about this, it is very practical when we are doing the configuration and all. That on the top you can see you have the filters. Filter means you have the selection. So the same equipment, if you want to see only the chassis, you can
Yes.
go and select chassis. If you want to see the rack mount, you can go and check fabric interconnect. See, one is the
Yes.
primary, other one is the subordinate. Now inside this fabric interconnect, what is the fan, fixed module, and power slot units, you can check. The fabric interconnect, obviously we know that fabric interconnects has the Ethernet ports and they have the fabric port. Later we'll see that how we can convert these interfaces into the different type of roles. So you can see the roles we have, like, is it a server port? What does it mean by server port?
Uh, like port of like entry also.
So what is happening, this
That's what you ask.
FI, it can go to Nexus 5K, 7K, etc. So that will be uplink, or that will be network. But if it is going towards the fix, that is the input output module, that will be the server port.
Oh,
This will be the
I,
server port, this will be the uplink port. So like that, you will find different options related to this particular port. The server port, uplink port is network port. Is it FCOE, fabric channel over Ethernet? Uplink port means, do I have any FC encapsulation under the Ethernet? Do I have FCOE over a storage port? So both options are there, either network or a storage port. Configure as an appliance. Are you connecting with some sort of servers, storage like NFS or CIFS, etc.? So
okay.
basically what we are going to use, although you can use anything in your production network, but mostly you'll find server port and uplink. Then if it is
Okay.
using FCOE or other thing, you will find that, okay, you have that.
Okay.
Now in the bottom you can see that whatever configure option was there, now we have unconfigure things. So if you want to revert back, you can go and do the unconfigure.
Unconfigured. Okay.
Now here, if I click one port, it is telling, okay, this is the, so if you click here, uh, first of all, if this option is disabled, that means it is the server port. But let us see, role is server. So it will tell you that what role it has. You can see the port, it is showing this is the port 1/1. Here also it is telling this is the server port. This is up. You can disable the port. You can do the reconfigure as these port types. Unconfigure, you want to show interface. You can go and check show interface. What is the port? System, switch A, slot 1, switch ether port 1. Complete object oriented type of hierarchy it has. So who is the main object? Like in Linux also you have some root and then you have
Yes.
folders like that. So here you can see this object. What are the other things I can see? I can go and check the faults related to this interface. I can go and check events related to this. Now nice thing about say UCS manager and even the ACI Epic controller, that you have these labels. So critical faults, major
Yes.
faults, minor, and warning. So these labels you have here. I can see overall with this UCS I have 2 warning. So these are the nice thing we have. You can see how simple this dashboard is very simple. You can go, if you know the technology, it's very easy to operate. All right, then again I go here and I can go and check the policies. In future we have to study about the policy. So many policies like global policy, we'll see. Then auto config policy, server inheritance policy, server discovery policy, SEL policy, something like serial Ethernet link. We'll see this policy. Power group policy, look up on that. Then we can go to servers. This is actually for the servers, this UCS. In server, you will find so many things. One of the main important one is the service profile. It's very interesting. Once you create the service profile, so suppose if I click here, create service profile template, you will find that you will get all the options. So what is the storage, what is the network, what is the SAN, what is the zoning, what is the VNIC, what is the vMedia, server boot order, maintenance policy, server assignment, operation policy. So means if you study all these things as small pieces, then you have to add here everything. And few of the things are related to core server technology. So what does it mean? Core server technology means that, so for example, if I go to maintenance policy and it will not allow me to go. So let me do this. If I go to the maintenance policy, say create maintenance policy, it's not like straightforward. If you have maintenance policy, you can call. Otherwise, if you go and click maintenance policy, then say test. First of all, say for example, storage config deployment policy, immediate acknowledge, reboot policy, immediate acknowledge, soft shutdown timer. Now, this thing very much related to someone, if he know about these servers, he can understand why I am giving 150 second of soft shutdown timer and 300 second and these second. First of all, let me show you some policy which is very difficult. So for example, operation policy, difficult in the sense you have so many options. So for example, scrub policy, power control policy, monitoring policy. If I go inside monitoring policy, create threshold policies, and threshold policy, and if I create, I have this option of add and delete.
Add. Down. No. Add in the down.
Yeah, so again it is in the same place only. Okay, so say for example, dim environment status, buffer unit, memory error. These are related to like server guy. Some of the things are related to core hardware. So what is dim environment status? What is buffer unit environment status? Now for network engineers, it's like why I study buffer unit environment status, memory error status, but obviously it has some use, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
So say if I click here also, it will go back to the, oh, now it is coming, sorry for that. So it's like it's a bit slow, it is not responding in that, but happens, it will come back. And I'm looking the property of memory error status. Now it is going very deep inside the servers, and for us, like for
what type of alert you need and all that warnings.
yes, it's actually very deep. Like on the front, it is looking like okay, it's a nice GUI. I create the VHBA policy, memory, RAM, etc., and I'll attach that. But behind the scene, actually, there are so many things that we can do here if we know exactly about the server. Correct?
Yeah.
So let me finish it. Let me show you some more examples. Boot order is okay. Say these things are related to networking, like storage provisioning, networking, SAN connectivity, joining VHPA. After that, everything is related to server guy. So for example, if I go test and then again, so many things will come. Okay, no problem. Later on we'll come and see, but you also
So
go. Yeah.
basically, service profile is means like in VMware, we are creating a domain. Is the service profile is similar to the domain or is totally different?
Service profile is a server.
Okay.
Okay. So
So in that, like we create a one service profile, and
I'll
in
I'll
that,
I'll I'll, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. You will understand. Then you can ask your question. Say I have one server. For example, this server has properties. So this server has RAM, memory, throughput, VNIC, storage, connection, all these small attributes. This
mhm,
thing what Cisco has done, they have taken this thing outside, inside a
okay,
template. Now you have one hardware and his program. This service
mhm,
profile is nothing but the program of the server. So if you have these attributes that we have seen, say A, B, C, whatever, these attributes, uh, because you have the common hardware now, but as per
yeah,
the attributes, you can attach the service profile. So maybe in this case, I have given memory 3 gigahertz something, the processing, say for example, 4.4 something, uh, etc. You understand this? So I may have say template service profile template 1, service profile template 2, service profile template 3. It may have some different minor difference with them with T2, and T2 may have
mhm,
some minor difference with T3, but all the servers they should have only one service profile.
running in that.
Yeah, at the moment they are they have only one service profile. So you can see the T1, T2, T3. Later on, if you want, you can create a copy of T1, or if you want, you can deassociate this, and then you can deassociate this and you can attach here. It's something like we are doing the virtualization in terms of the policy. So you have the same
Oh,
hardware, but with help of service profile, you are changing the parameters.
mhm. So we create a one service profile for one server. That's it.
Yes.
And if we have a other server, then we have to create another service
Yes,
profile.
that's correct.
Okay, so one to one, like.
Yeah. Yes, for all the servers, we should have a unique service profile or one service profile. That's correct. Give me
Okay.
1 second. Service profile, what type of policy I can create? Adapter policy means what is there that independently you can create all this policy and then you can call inside the service profile, or if you create the service profile, they will ask you one by one everything.
Uh,
That's the one thing. The other thing that if you have the service profile template, you can copy that template with some new name and then you can edit if you know that what minor change you want to do in the other service profile. So
got
that is also possible. So here you can see the adapter policy, BIOS, boot, diagnostic, graphic, see graphic card policy. If I open this and say for example I get test, graphic card mode, compute, graphics. Although I don't know that what is the graphic card mode. This is purely
yeah.
core to the server guy. They should know
Oh,
what is compute,
yeah.
what is graphics, what is any configuration. Okay, so these are the things that while you're doing this, if for example, host firmware package. Let's see, local disk, NVMe, M firmware switch, PSU power slot unit, and then so many other options. I mean, sometimes we will lost what options you are getting, very small minor things inside the server, inside the box itself, related to say for example DIMM slots or maybe RAM or NVRAM. That minor difference, that minor things also you will get inside this
Hmm.
service profile. So if you are creating very interesting service profile, like very detailed service profile. So you should know that what are the things
All
you're
right.
putting inside that. We have SOL as well, serial over LAN policy, VNIC, VHV, etc. So this is interesting. When we are inside the server, the service profile is the heart actually. Whatever we are doing in the UCS for the service profile, because this is going to be attached with the server. Then you can create the independent policies. These are the policy inside the service profile. Then you can create the pools. Later on, we'll see that what is the significance of pool. So we have server pool, we have UEID pool, we have other pools also like MAC pool, IP pool, WW port name, WW node name. Those pools are also there. So we can go and filter, and then we have the schedules. Then in the LAN, what pools you will get? In the LAN, you will get the MAC pool and the IP pool.
Right.
So if I go to the all, you can see that I can go inside the LAN cloud. LAN cloud is something that you can do network related configuration like VLANs, VLAN group, threshold policy, LAN pin groups, QoS, and FIA and FIB configuration. I can go here selectively. And again, if I know all these things, then I can go and easily configure it. I'll try to cover most of the things, so no problem. Appliances, Ethernet LAN. But if someone is new for these policies, so you can go and just at least familiarize with these options. What option I have? So go and click and check. At least we'll understand. So LAN thing is very much related to network guy. So he know most
Okay.
of the things. If I go here, so by default I know things related to LAN. So I know the LAN, the LAN cloud policy, say what is LACP, what is link protocol, what is my network guy. Then SAN, very much like the storage guys know about this. So here you can see the zone. We
Sure.
have discussed this thing, but if you see the number of items inside the SAN is actually less related to LAN. So here, what are the most important thing we have in the SAN is the zone, that the initiator, how they can talk to the target, means server, and the storage relationship. And then we have the vSAN, virtual SAN, that how you can create uh, different islands, different logical SAN areas inside the same SAN fabric. It's like that, creating multiple fabric inside the same SAN. So here you can see the list is very small, and then you have the VHV. Then even you can bundle the fabric interconnects, you can bundle the fabric channel or the ports. So whatever fabric ports you have, you can group them inside one domain and you can bundle. Like in LAN also we can create the port
Bundle.
channel.
Cool.
Here you can create the fabric channel. Okay, threshold policy, VHVS organization. Then here we have some pools like IQN, WW node name, port name, X, maybe N, maybe P. That's why X. Like in general, either it can be P, either it can be N. All right. So we have IQN pool also is nothing but type of DNS entry. If you create IQN, then it will create some sort of DNS type of entry. Let me show you this. So now if you want to filter it, what you can do, that you can go and click pool. So only you will see pool related options. Create IQN suffix. IQN prefix must have the following. Is something like domain name type of thing, this IQN.
Year, month. Okay.
Yeah, IQN is something like domain related thing. So maybe we'll not use IQN in our lab, but theoretically we'll go and check that what is the use of IQN. So I'll try to cover up all these options. At least we come to these already we know, WWNN, PNN, these
Yeah.
we already know. What
Yeah.
are the new terms are there? I will try to check that, and I'll request you also that you go and check all the tabs. If anything you find
Okay.
what does it mean, what it will do, we'll check.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have VM. It's very straightforward that VM inside VMware. So many things inside UCS. So VM generally it is related to VMware admins. So they must know what is the vCenter, and from
Mm-hmm.
vCenter how they are going to manage the host and the guest. So here you can see the port profiles plus the port profile also, because these port profiles are very important related to how they are going to associate with the guest. The port profile, some common type of what I can say, the common type of entity or common type of attributes we have inside the port profile. That means VMs with the similar type of attributes. Suppose all these VMs related to web. So I can attach all this VM with same type of port profile or single port profile,
Okay.
like that we can do. Then
Yeah.
we have the VM networks, straightforward VMware network. Then we can use Microsoft, I think Hyper-V, Microsoft
Mm-hmm.
virtualization. Then we have the VMware virtualization. Let's see that what is inside one by one, because every 6 months some innovation you will find, some new things will come inside this.
Yeah.
So this is Microsoft virtualization, this is VMware virtualization, this is VM network. We'll see this VM network, how it will work. Port profile is the common attribute of the
Okay.
VMware. We know about this port
Yeah.
profile. Then
Mm-hmm.
we have the fabric set. Either I have the fabric network or the IP pools. Then we have the cluster as well. Then we have a storage. I think the easiest one, storage profile, storage policy. That's it.
That's
Uh,
easy.
yeah. Then we have the chassis. So chassis, we know that inside chassis, what are the things I have? Uh, Inside chassis, if you create chassis profile, for example, if I go inside create chassis profile, what are the things it will ask? So for example, test chassis maintenance policy. And what is good thing here, that what you have to do, you give the name, you have given the name, then for example, give some logical name, say chassis profile, something like that. If I go next, automatically it will go down and down. So chassis maintenance policy, what is the chassis maintenance policy do you have? You want to use default or not? Then go and create chassis maintenance policy. So suppose chassis maintenance policy, user acknowledgement, okay,
Mm-hmm.
done. Then we can drop down chassis management
See.
policy, go next. Then chassis assignment, what is the chassis firmware? If you have, you can go use it. What is the compute connection policy? If it is not there, then you can go and
Yeah.
create what is the server SIOC connection. It is single connected, dual connected. Some of the terms will be 100% server related.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can go disk tuning. I can go next. Then SAS extender configuration policy. We can go and finish. So like that. Now I have one chassis profile. This profile is unassociated at the moment. Later on we'll go and see that how we can associate or deassociate the policies.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see the rename, create a chassis profile template, deassociate the profile, change the profile, unbind, bind the template, change the chassis maintenance policy. At the moment this is unassociated. Later we'll see that we can do the association. We can do the association and unassociation. These are the terms we'll get. So we are going to get the terms like template, unassociation, deassociation, service profile template, These are the terms we are going to get in the future. Then
So
finally,
we have to connect any service profile to the chassis profile.
yes, so
Oh,
your chassis, we are not connecting anything, but for the chassis,
so
we
sir.
can create
Oh yes.
policy. Yeah, by default, there will be policy. We can create policy and connect with the chassis. Yes, that's true. But the service
So
profiles are related to servers.
okay, whatever the B server or C server, whatever the server type of
Yeah,
server
yeah.
we are using,
So,
right?
yeah. So here we are talking simply about the B server. This is 5108 UCS.
Okay.
So here you can see that for chassis, I can create profile. Inside profiling, I may have different policies. But for servers, we are going to create only the service profiles. So I can go here and you can see service profiles.
In this section, we are going to perform the lab task. So let's do that. Now we are inside the UCS manager. Once we are inside the UCS manager, then basically we want to create the service profile and attach to the blade server, correct? Now here you can see that chassis and primary and the subordinate FIs. All right, so what we need to do that we should go to the servers, and once you go inside the server, I will show you that you have options that you can go and create. And let me go to the main page. So you can go and create the service profile. You can go and create the service profile templates as well. Let me decrease the font size a little bit. Let me go back and forth. All right, so let's go back to the servers. And once we are inside the servers, you can see here, and since I have increased the font, let me do a little bit decreasing the font. So here you can see that we have servers, service profile. Inside service profile, you have different type of service profiles. Then you have service profile template. Now the point here is this, that with help of service profile template, we can go and create the service profile, and then that service profile we can associate with server. Correct? That's the order that we have. Now, what I can do here is that I can go and show you the steps that you can create the service profile, and then that from that service profile we can go and create the from that service profile template we can go and create the service profile. So first create the template, and from that you can create the profiles. Okay. Now in the bottom you can see that there are so many policies as well. So it's like a very much object oriented type of thing. That means that you can create different type of templates, and then you can call all the templates in one place. So here you can see that inside policy, you have so many different policies like power policy, boot policies, scrub policies, etc. Now, not only these things that we can call inside the service profile template, but whatever profiles or whatever values that we have created inside the LAN, SAN, etc., those things also we can go and call. Correct. So for example, if you have created VLANs, if you have created a WW port name, node name, if you have allocated different type of address pools like MAC pools, IP pool, etc. Means everything we have the option that we can go and call inside the main servers, main service profile. Correct. So I'll do one thing. I can go here to the service profile template. Let's click here, create service profile template. And then you'll get tons of options. Now, if you know all those options, you can go easily and one by one, you can create the profile. You can create the profile with all the options, and then from that profile, you can create the service profile. So from service profile template, we can create the service profile. So let me give him the name as a test, just an example. This is initial updating. Yeah. Then it is asking UUID. Yes. I have you can see UUID. So we can go and assign. Obviously, you have to go and create this UUID in other section. Then we can go next. Then we are inside the storage provisioning. Now, with respect to storage, what is storage profile we have, what is storage policy we have, what is storage local configuration policy we have. So let's go ahead and check if we have any local disk configuration policy. Yes. So I can go and use local disk RAID 1. Again, this policy you can create in other locations and you can call here. The networking. Once we are in the networking, to have a dynamic VNIC connection, it will ask you about VNIC 1 and VNIC 0 and VNIC 1. That's ETH 0 and ETH 1. Correct? So if you want to create the expert, it will give you a good amount of option. Once we are inside the expert, we can go and click add. Now it is coming up. Now you can see the option. So this is VNIC 1, that's the name, and then the MAC assignment. So you can see that MAC assignment, I can go and use host management, FEX. So let's check this host management. Now this is, suppose if we have VNIC template, we can go and use it. Otherwise, what you need to do, you have to create it each and everything. We don't have VNIC template, you have adapter policies, or different adapter policies are there. So if I want to have an adapter policy, you can go for virtual system, you can use VMware. For actual hardware, again, you can go and use the Windows and others, etc. So let's do this thing. I don't have VNIC property, so we can go here and we can create our own. So what you need to do here is that you can go and select the VLANs and VLAN group. And I'll do one thing, let's select all the VLANs, there's no problem, but you should have some clear identification that what exactly you are choosing. Then let's just scroll down, you can go to the VLAN group. You can create the LAN pin group, but let's leave it. So now you can see that we have this, and again scroll down. Once we have selected the VLAN, I can scroll down, I can go a little bit below just to see that what other policies we have. Remember the QoS policy, adapter policy, let's go and put that. So if you don't have, you can create new. I'll go and use VMware. Then QoS policy, you can always go and create it. So obviously it will go to the LAN cloud section from here, where you can go and check this. Create QoS policy, say best effort. So I will use B. But yeah, still we have this option, we can go and create. I have given the name as a BE, and we can go and use this BE. The network control policy, this also we can go and create, but I have one CDP enabled, so I can use it. And then connection policies, we can leave this as it is. So now we can see that we have VNIC 1. Likewise, I can go and create this time with fabric B, say VNIC 2 is the name, give the MAC assignment address. I'm selecting all the VLANs, but should have some specification which VLANs we are selecting. And now that's the good thing about this automation tools and the orchestrators, that once you created the adapter policies and other templates, then next time you don't need to. You can simply go and call those things. Correct? So, okay, we can go next. Then SAN connectivity, you should give the WWNN. Let's go and here also we can go and use expert, that's good practice if we are using expert. Then let's give this, and you can see that we can go and add
the HBS. If we have the local disk, not required, but if you don't have, then you can go and use it. I'm just giving any random name. If we have the template's not there, so we have to create our own, correct? So let's see, I don't have vSAN and zoning defined at the moment, so leave it. I'm leaving this as default. Even you can leave this as default as well. And I'll leave everything default just in case that we don't have the storage area network connected at the moment. But if we have a storage area network and mapping and all pinning, then we have to go and define each and everything. Select vSANs and all, everything, leave it. Adaptive policy, leave it. I just wanted to show you the QS policy. And here we can go and check gold, platinum, etc. Okay. So let's click OK. I can click this OK. And we can go here and just wanted to edit one of the old policy because there we haven't assigned the QS parameter. I just double clicked there. And if you go and see all these policies that we have, if I go down here, I just wanted to give GL. Right. So we are very much okay with the policy, but you can see that when you're creating the service profile template, you have the options, correct? So you have option related to the identify service profile template. We're using UUID. Then storage provisioning, we have given the local disk policy. Networking, where we have defined the LAN related networking. We have created NIC 1, NIC 2, storage area networking. If we have the storage, we can define it. If we have zoning, we can define the zoning as well. You can leave it. Then we have VNIC, VHVA placement. The order that they are giving us, we can use that. There's no problem. Then vMedia, we can go and create the vMedia policy as well. At the moment, I can leave it as default. Server boot order, and server boot order, I'm using this pre-built boot order, that is their first LAN and then the local, correct? Then maintenance policy, again, you may have multiple things inside this maintenance policy, but we are using user ACK. But if you just wanted to see what options you have inside that, if I go and click to create maintenance policy, you will see that user ACK means storage config deployment policy. User ACK reboot policy is immediate, correct? So this is the default. You can use default as well. If you go to the drop down, you can see there is default as well. Or if you want, we can use our as well, where we are using user ACK for reboot, user ACK for storage config, etc. Then finally, the server assignment. This is good. This is important. So now, if you want to assign it immediately, you can go and assign it, correct? Or you can assign it later as well, correct? Then here you can see that select the power state when this profile associated with server is up. Then you have the firmware, BIOS, disk controller, adapter, those type of policy, you can go and create it. Finally, the operational policies. So operational policy like management IP address policy, if we have any, you can go and assign that. Then if you have created monitoring policy, power control, scrub, KVM, graphics, etc., we can go and use it. So now we'll save this. So we'll see that we have created one service profile template, and this service profile template, the name is test. So you will see that test will come. Let me show you here where it is. Oops. Let me go back and refresh the page. So once we have the test policy, so what we can do from that test, here you can see that we have the test policy. You can right click there, and from this we can create, oops. So from this we can go and create the service profile from the template, correct? And then you just give the service profile name and then associate it, and that's it, it will work. At the moment you can see that so many service profile templates are there. I just wanted to show you one. So for example, service template Windows 2012, and we have 2016 as well. Both I can see they're up and up. And let me show you that we have one more service template for the VMware ESXi 6.5. Because we have chosen the adapter policy as a VMware, so I just wanted to walk you through with this. Now, if you go here, you can see that we have the ISKZ VNIC, VHPS VNIC, those will be there. But here, if you want to check all the policies, everything that is created here, we can check this. Okay. So first of all, you can see that we have a storage. Let's see inside the storage what type of policies we have. Local LUN and those things are not there. You can see that we have the local disk configuration policy. That's the local disk RAID, correct? You have VHVS because we have local RAID. We want to boot from the local RAID. We have WW node name base 000. This is worldwide node name is the pool derived. And although you will understand about worldwide node name and worldwide port name in the next section, where we'll go and study about the storage area networking. So don't worry about that if you don't know at this point. Then the network, you can see that we have slot 1, 2, 3, 4. And here in the bottom, you can see that we have VNIC, and we have also created like this. So fabric A, fabric B, some are A and B and A and B. Like if one will go down, still you have the failover strategy and all. So because since this is a hypervisor, so for data, you have VNIC A and B. For management, you have A and B both. And for vMotion, you have A and B, correct? Then ISKZ is nothing, vMedia. Boot order, you will see that how this is working. So again, boot order, this name is Razer boot, and you can see that VNIC primary. Then other policies inside that, again, if you go and check the BIOS policy, the boot retry on, firmware policy, etc., etc. Like that, you have the scrub, serial, overland, KVM, power stats, and all those things. Then you have events and FSM. So now you can see that we have the service profile template, and from this service profile template we can go and create the service template. Okay, so let's do this. Let's right click here, and we want to create the service profile or the service template. From here you just click here, and since this is dealing with the hypervisor, so what I will do, give the name, say hypervisor. How many? So you can see 1 and 2 instances. That means if I go, oops, okay, I have clicked here, but I can change the number as well. So let me quickly show that from this service profile template, when we are creating the service profile, so on top you can see we have the service profile. Now you can see that we have hypervisor 1 and hypervisor 2. And that means these are the ESXi. Now if I go and click to the hypervisor, and then here you can see in this section, we have this option to click the KVM console. We'll open that KVM console. While it is opening up, let me go back to the UCS manager. So you can see that we have association of this particular service profile to the blade server. And if you want to check where it is, so you can see that the chassis 1 blade 4. Okay, it is associated with this. Now, if you go to the KVM, obviously it will show you the detail, how it is booting and all.
The moment it is showing no signal, so we can go and do the reset as well. We have this deassociation of server profile as well that we can do. I'll do one thing, I'll reset this. And okay, while it is doing the resetting, it is taking some time. No problem, we will wait. After resetting, you can see that the ESXi is resetting. We can wait for some time. Meanwhile, let's go back to the UCS manager where I have other service profile as well. So let me quickly go back there. You can see that we have infra server 1 and 2 as well that just now I have created from CentOS server. And if I go and click to the infra server 1, you can see that the template instance is, although the font size is small, let me increase this. So you can see that it is with derived from the instance that's the CentOS 6 servers, correct? Now, for this particular server and attachment, I can go and first of all open the KVM console. Now it is in progress, and then I can show you the FSM. So if you go and click to the FSM, you can check the finite state machine. That's the state machine, and it is telling this 100% right. So the point here is that while you're attaching the service profile with the blade, obviously you will go and assign to a blade inside the chassis. So at that time, this finite state machine will start, it will move, and if it is 100%, that means good, correct? Now, apart from that, if you go and check other aspects, so you can see the overall status is okay. This is associated, this is assigned, and then you can go and check different other parameters as well, correct? So what's the server pool, what's the management IP, what's the in-band, out-band, etc. Long list of things we can go and check. But remember that we have created our policies as well. So our policies, one policy, global policy, you can see the user act that is attached. Then you can go and check the rest of the things as well, like the storage. So you can check the local boot policy. You have this local rate policy, the network stuffs that you can go and check, the VNix stuffs you can go and check, correct? So you can see that it got this MAC address, fabric A and B. The name of this VNIC is VNIC management. Then you can go check the boot order, virtual machines, and all sort of informations we can go and check, correct? So let's see here that what's the status. And you can see that we have the CentOS node. Correct, let me try to log in here. But you can see that it booted, and now we have this prompt. Likewise, if we go here and check the hypervisor, you can see ESXi, which is also loading. It may take some 15-20 minutes more, but the point here is that we have our service profile and it is associated and it is showing up and running. So that's the key we have, this page. Even in the exams also, if you go and write either your CCIE exam as well, the point here is that you should create all the policies, all the profiles, and once you are attaching those profile to the blade server, you should have all this green, and you can check your FSM as well. All right, so this was the important information, and we are good to stop here. In this and upcoming 2 videos, we are going to do the revision that whatever we have studied, and we are going to cover these topics as well. So here you can see that in 2.2, we have to understand about the networking, UCS networking tab and task.
Then 2.2d, you can see that we have to understand about storage management, although we have section number 3 in this course completely related to a storage area network. So there you will understand more and more terminologies. And then finally, we can club all the pool and policies inside the service profile. That's nothing but your virtual server or the abstraction of server. So from there, you want to push the configuration to the blade. Correct? We need to understand all the terms related to server, because all these terms, we are creating some sort of logical object and we are clubbing inside the service profile. And then we are pushing that configuration from here to the blade server. So what are the steps here? You can see, create the pools, create the policies, templates, club everything inside the service profile, and then you can go and attach these to the different servers. So servers will boot up. So it's a Ubuntu or ECX hypervisors or any bare metal like Windows servers. Everything will be work inside this chassis. So inside this chassis, obviously, we have different blade servers, maybe half width, maybe full width, and with help of service profile, we can go and bring them up. Great. So what is the summary? Create the pools policy, build a template, create the service profile from the template, and finally attach it to the servers. So these things we have discussed already earlier. And although we have created the service profile, I have shown you all the steps. And here also you'll find all the steps, but the key target here in this particular recording is to go and understand the networking tab. Here you can see that we have the LAN related tab. And once you go inside the LAN related tab, what are the options you will get? So we are going to discuss or focus more on that. So step number 1, create pool and policy. You can go and create the pool and policy pools like WWN pool, MAC pool, server pool, then QoS policy, FC interface policy, Ether channel. Means you have long list of policies, correct? You can see. So you can create the pool and policy, and we are going to discuss more on the QoS policy, because that's one of the agenda we have in this CCNP curriculum course. Then what we are doing, that once we have the pool and policy, then we are building a template. So build a server group template. And while you are building the server template, we know that we can go and create the server profile template. And here you can see that once you are creating actually the server or service profile template, then at that time what is happening, that it will ask you all the important informations from 1 to 11. So what's the storage, what's the identity service profile template, the storage provisioning, networking, SAN connectivity, zoning, VHVAs, and all those things that we have discussed earlier. Correct? So we should know each and everything before creating the service profile template. Now, once we have the service profile template, then we can go and from the service profile template, we can create the service profile and then attach to the server. Correct? Now, we are going to focus on this networking tab I told you earlier. Once you're in the networking tab, there are so many different things that we need to do. So we have to go and create something called VNIC templates. We have to go and create some sort of MAC pool and other management pools, etc. You have to go and create the VLAN. You have to go and give the QoS parameters, etc. Although inside UCS, these things are easy to configure, and we have seen this earlier as well, where we have created few of the templates. Once you are inside the networking tab, you can go to the expert mode, and I have shown that how the expert mode look like, and then you can go and create most of the things from there one by one. Correct? Now let's focus on QoS policy. So once I am inside the LAN cloud, and this is some older snapshot. A new snapshot will look like this, and even you should know the older as well. But anyways, if you go in the new and old as well, you will find the same options. So once you are in the older option, you will see the LAN cloud, and you can go to the QoS system class. You can see here that we have the priority defined, we have the cost defined, packet of weight defined.
There will be some default configuration and that will be okay. But suppose if you want to create your own user defined configuration, then you can go to the QoS policy and you can go and create the QoS policy. Here you can see that we have platinum, gold, silver, bronze, best effort, and fiber channel. Like that, you can go and create one by one. So for example, I can go and create the best effort, giving some bandwidth, the rate, and name. It's like 1 GB bandwidth. Like that, I can go and create the platinum for the line rate, gold for the line rate, silver again, the bits you can see here, the line rate, the host control is leaving default, then the best effort, etc. Finally, we can go and create one for FC as well. I can see the FC and then the option. Then your policies will look like this. Okay, so this is the user defined way that we can go and create the QoS policy. Like that, you can go and create the MAC pool as well. So MAC address pool, because once you are associating the service profile, so it will ask for the MAC addresses. You can go and use the format like this. So you have to define that what's the size of the MAC address, or the servers they are looking for virtual MAC addresses, so that we can go and define. And it's very easy and straightforward. You can go and create these MAC addresses, and then you can continue for the upcoming processes. So this is one of the video where we have done the revision. In the next video also, we are going to do the revision related to the same way. And the last video in this section, up to 2.e, we will go and discuss about the storage area component. That is as per the agenda. All right, so let's stop here. Let's continue where we left off in the previous section. So likewise, you can go and complete all the subsections that you have here. You can see that 1, 2, 3, and then SAN connectivity, zoning, all these stuffs. And then finally, we'll reach to the server boot, maintenance policy, server assignment, and the operational policies. These things we have already discussed. We are just doing the revision. And once we have everything in place, then final statement is that server assignment. So you can go and that policy you can attach with a server, with the Blade server. Once you attach, we have the option that with the KVM console, we can see that upcoming or the bring up process as well. But I have shown you that we have FSM, something called FSM as well, finite state machine, that you can see the complete progress of how the deployment is happening. If anything is wrong, then it will generate the error as well. Correct. So like that, you can go and do the assignment here. You can see that FSM. So what you can do, once everything will be done, once you do the deployment, then you can go to the this place, server, service policy, root, and this place, and then you can go and check the FSM just to see that how the things are going behind the scene. There are other tabs as well that I have shown you earlier. We can go and refer those. Okay. So what we have done, we have created the pools and policies. Then so we have the pools plus policy. Then we have created something called template. With that template, we have created the service profile. So you have the profile, and that profile you will go and attach. Correct. So here you can see that creating the logical servers, that's the service profile. You have done the attachment as well. I have shown you that we have done the attachment as well, but still, let's take one step back, that we have created pool and policies, and then we have our service profile template that we are here. And from here, we can go and create this as well. Like from service profile template, we can create service profile that I have shown you in the previous video. Correct. When we have created hypervisor and some file server, some infra server, etc. Now, once you have that, how many instances you want? That's very interesting. That by default it will be 1, 2, like starting with 1 and then 2 instances. But if you go and give this number 32, then you can see here the prefix thing, the ESXi server A1 up to 32 instances will get created. That means those many instances you can go and attach. Correct. Now, once you have that that many service profile, then obviously you can go and attach. Means we have option actually here. There are option that what you want. while you are creating this service profile template, we have option that this service profile template, at the moment you create it, you want to attach it, or you want to wait for some user acknowledgement or not. Correct? So you can create it, and then one by one, if you want, you can attach it. So once you go and attach this service profile, that's the last final step that we have. Associate to the hardware. Once you go and associate to the hardware, then you can go and check the FSM status and all that I have told you earlier. And then you can see the deployment, and you can log into the actual hardware with the KVM console, and then you can see the bring up. Means it will show you that, yeah, I'm up and running. Now you can use me. Correct? It's actually very easy. If you do the lab and practice, you'll find that this is one time hard work, something like that. But once you build everything, it's easy to use, easy to optimize, and easy to automate as well. All right. So what we have done, we have discussed about actually 2.2c was also there. We have discussed about the networking configuration, like LAN and the LAN MAC pools and the QoS and other stuffs. Then a storage related thing you will find in the next video. I'm going to discuss the key concept about the storage things that will be used inside UCS, like what is the WW node name and port name pools, and very interesting things, stuff related to storage area network use in UCS. But again, I told you that next section, that's the section 3. After section 2, we have section 3, and inside section 3 you will find that we have completed storage concepts and everything. So wait till that. Whatever important related to UCS you'll find in the next video. And then finally we have discussed 2.2e as well, because we have discussed about how we are creating service profile. Correct? And then all the pools like boot policies and all those things. The key here is that you need to do some sort of hands-on practice work, and then it will become very easy for you. All right, so we are good with this. Go watch the next video related to SAN concept related to UCS, and then in the next section we'll go and start 2.3, where we have to understand about the Hyperflex. All right, so let's stop here.
All right, now we have the addressing schema. And this is actually very important. Whenever we'll create the service profile, we will get these things. So what about the addressing? In local area network, we know that we have MAC address and we have IP address. What about a storage area network? In a storage area network, what is the MAC address? What is the IP address? So MAC address, what is the significance of MAC address? It's a burnt in address, correct? Burnt in address. It is burnt inside this chip inside the ASIC. Is the physical address, correct? This MAC address is physical address. And the IP address is the logical address. Likewise, we'll see in SAN what is the MAC address and what is the IP address. So FC addressing is analogous to the IP over Ethernet. IP addresses are logical, manually assigned to the MAC addresses, burnt in address. FC worldwide node name. This is the 8-byte address. Then we have FC ID. Remember, here we have two addresses. One is FC worldwide node name. So FC WW node name. And then we have FC ID. FC ID. This is 8 byte and this is 3 byte. Okay. Now this FC ID is analogous to MAC address, and this FC worldwide name or WWN. You can remove this thing just for your memorization. WWN or WW node name. This is analogous to MAC address, and this FC ID is analogous to IP address. This is 3 byte. This is 8 byte. All right. How it is built? Let's see. So WWN is FC fabric channel 8 byte physical address. WWN is subdivided further into worldwide node name or node worldwide name, switch server disk physical address, and they are divided into worldwide port name. So what it is telling that if you have one server, so this server having only one physical address, correct? And this server has, say, HBA, host bus adapter. So this particular WW node name is identifying the physical address of the HBA. But suppose inside this HBA you have two interface, means suppose if you have two port, that will term as a WW port name. So WW port name 1, WW port name 2. So here you can see that is HBA and the arrays have more than port. It is not a data plane switching. So we have port name also. What does it mean? The switch VHB is worldwide node name, but the interfaces. So one interface can go to fabric A, one interface can go to fabric B. These are WW port name. WW port name. Okay, and how it is important. So if you see now your UCS blade, suppose I have only one server. In one server I have one HBA. So what I will do, that one port I will map toward FIA and one port I will map towards FIB. So the HBA physical address is WW node name, but the port name will be, so here I have one port, different port, and here I have different port. Now what is the significance of different port? Now it can map to storage A and it can map to storage B. In between that, if you create the zoning rule, so zoning will tell, okay, WWPN1 will map to storage A and WWPN, say for example 2 will map to storage B. That's the importance. So if any of the site is down, is still your server can get the storage from one side.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, just one question. So, we have like two different storage area, or we
Yeah,
just
always you
like
have two different.
consider
You have one storage area separated into two logic.
two?
So that's why you have
Okay.
vSAN. Otherwise,
Mhm.
everyone should use vSAN 0. You'll find you have vSAN 100, 200. This will map to vSAN 100. So one side is completely one logic. This will map to vSAN 200.
200.
But by the end of day, you have redundant path towards the server. Because you have two
Oh.
interface, because you have two storage, they are mapping independently.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. So then we have the FC identifier. This is something like IP address. It's a logical address in the fabric channel. FC ID is divided into three fields: domain ID, area ID, port ID, and all these things having the significance. So area ID is a group of ports in which switch area is there. Port ID, end station connected to switch get the port. Domain ID, which domain it belongs to. We don't need to go deep inside what is in the domain ID, area ID, port ID. You can just think you have domain ID, you have area ID, you have the port. So port is significant locally. You can think like this: area, inside area you may have port, and then inside domain you may have area. It will be like this.
Okay.
All right. So at the moment, what we can do here, that we have MAC address things. MAC address things are www node name and www port name. Then we have IP type of things, that is FCID. He has DAP at the moment, domain area port. All right. And for example, why I need IP? For routing.
To connect with
For routing,
yeah,
correct? So the traffic will use these IP addresses to build the routing table. So in this case, they will build the FC table, because in between I have network. So in between, say for example, I have UCS here connected with A and B. Then I have network. In between I have multiple switch, and then I have a storage. So how the traffic will go from one place to other place and then reach to a storage? For that we need the logical IPs to build the logical fabric routing table. Yeah, we'll check more on this in the upcoming section. And then we have the process. We'll discuss about these processes as well, what is meaning of these processes. All right, so let us discuss what we have studied so far. I'm going to ask you 4 to 5 questions from the beginning. We have a study about SAN, storage area network. What are the types?
you mean server, network, and
Server.
storage.
I should ask what are the components
Yeah,
of, so server
network,
and storage
storage,
and HBA.
HP.
3 components related to a storage area network. All right. What we are telling to the server? What is the name of the server?
You mean node? Node?
Yeah, it will be target.
Oh, target. No,
Server
it's
server is
initiator,
target.
right?
Yeah,
Server.
yes, correct. Good. Initiator. And what is the storage?
Target. Sorry. Yeah.
Target. Great. All right. This VHBA in Cisco, what type of VHBA they generally has?
So,
They have mezzanine,
like, yeah,
mezzanine type of card. And we may have virtual HBA as well. We'll see later on inside the UCS settings. And we may have PCIe connections as well. All right.
In 2.3, we have to learn, understand about Hyperflex, that is coming under hyper-converged infrastructure. So what I have done here, because this Hyperflex is a new topic, so for that, I created few different videos related to the components. So you will come to know in upcoming section that uh, we know at this point of time we understood about UCS. I'm going to explain about Hyperflex, hypervisor infrastructure, but there are some other components as well we should know. So we should know VMware technology as well. If you want to have your career in Hyperflex, so you should know either VMware or any type of virtualization technology. And one Cisco product, that is Intersight. So here you can see that topic 2.6, it is telling that implement infrastructure monitoring such as Intersight span. Correct. So that's why I have created the series of videos in a way that first of all we'll go and complete 2.3 one video, like basics of Hyperflex and hyperconverged computing. Then we should understand Intersight. So for Intersight, I have few videos I'll show you in the next slide. And then again, we'll come back and complete 2.3. So the strategy is this, that complete 2.3, few portion, then go and complete 2.6 100%, and then come back to 2.3. In between, you can see that 2.4 and 2.5, we will do after these sections. So first of all, we'll complete 2.3, then 2.6, and then we'll start 2.4 and 2.5. That's the strategy. Now, You will see that the strategy here I have listed. So one video after this recording, you'll find that one video related to hyperflex theory. Then 9 videos I have just created. So we will be comfortable to understand the intersight, because remaining 3 videos are related to hyperflex lab, and with respect or with help of intersight, I'm going to do that deployment. So if you don't know intersight, then it's very difficult to know that how we can deploy with respect to intersight, the hyperflex, correct? So that's the strategy. Now, you will see that these 9 videos, it is listed here, starting with intersight, what is intersight, claiming the devices, the dashboard, etc. So you will come to know about intersight, and after that, you have 3 videos specifically for hyperflex. Once we complete these videos, we will easily complete 2.3 and 2.6. In this section, we are going to understand about hyperconvergence and why it is important and what is our hyperflex product. So far we know that we can go and club network plus compute, correct, inside UCS. And maybe you have heard about a product called Nutanix. Nutanix is one of the nice successful project where you can go and club network plus compute plus storage. There are some other VMware and other vendor projects as well, which is clubbing all these together. And in other word, if you go and see, you'll find that we have software-defined network like ACI, like NSXT, etc. What about software-defined storage? Software-defined storage, SDS. So the answer is this: hyperconverge. In hyperconverge infrastructure, in hyperflex, we have all 3 together in single box. So you can create a fabric in a way where you can do some sort of networking, compute, and storage. Or in other way, you can think about software-defined storage. So software-defined storage is one of the key area at the moment. It's not new type of infrastructure. Now it's also become old, but the concept, say maybe 5-6 years back, if you go and check, the concept was new. Everyone was looking about this solution, and now it is in the market. Now it is matured enough, and it is supporting so many different type of workflow. Now, this is not a solution for all the use cases of workflow, but case by case, we can go and use different type of hyper-converged infrastructure. So in this integrated infrastructure, it will minimize the risk, any workload, but again, case by case. It's not like flat any workload statement. Scale in any dimensions, fast deployment, management, simple elasticity, and cost effective. Now these are the benefits that we are seeing here. These are the benefits with respect to software-defined networking as well. Correct? Software-defined networking is also giving you such type of benefits, and here also you are getting such type of benefits. So what are the key factors we have? It's agile, efficient, and adaptable. Now the key point here is this, that this infrastructure that you can see here, this converged infrastructure, and again I will show you some of the examples related to what type of model and what type of flavors it has in the upcoming slide. But the overall hyperconverged infrastructure is a policy driven. It's open and programmable. It can do obviously we can do the abstraction of hardware, and you have the logical storage configuration. And that's why it is termed as a software defined storage networking, correct? So you can see in the diagram that you have your physical storage, then you are taking the abstraction in terms of storage, and then you are distributing across the region. So that means that we have storage that we are doing the decoupling. So decoupling of the physical and the logical thing, and then you can distribute it, that we are doing inside UCS. In UCS is something like server virtualization, where you have actual hardware, but still you have some logical profile called service profile. And then with that service profile, you are managing your servers infrastructure. Here also the same thing, but in terms of storage. Now, if we use such type of methodology, then it is policy based. Again, it's programmable and we can do full automation for this. Often this is referred as a virtualization in the storage area network, and that's why it's SDS, software defined storage. Correct. Now, once we are doing all these things, what key benefits we have? So the key benefits that we have, it's quick deployment, easy to deploy, quick deployment, and in the lab you will see that how easy we'll go and do the deployment. Right? Even it's very easy to go and do the creation of VM. Again, you will see in the lab that we can do the deployment of VMs as well. It's easy and nice dashboard where you can go and check the stats of VMs and utilization and the optimization and other aspects. And finally, it can do dedupe, compression, backup, replication, VAAI clone, optimized snapshot. Means everything, all the features that we have in a storage area network, you will get with respect to policy-driven, programmable, nice visibility, each and everything will be there. So what about the architecture? Let me quickly show you the architecture. Now it is a best practice that you should have minimum 3 storage, and we'll see that in the upcoming slide, that you can club in single fabric. So you have 3 different hardwares. They are part of one fabric, one storage cluster, the cluster fabric like that we are telling. But in all the hypervisors, you'll see, suppose if I have hypervisor 1, hypervisor 2, and hypervisor 3, you'll find that you have the VM instances, correct? Everything is there, but you have shared storage pool first thing, and in all the Hyperflex, you can see here that you have one storage controller VM, storage controller VM, and that's the key we have, and that's the overall architecture that you have. So you have one common or global file system storage pool, and in all the Hyperflex, you have a storage controller VM. Again, the picture here that you can see that you have UCS, you can integrate with UCS. Then when you go and log into the dashboard, and I'll show you in the lab, we have the Hyperflex Connect. With that, we can go and check the Hyperflex VM, connections, storage, resources, etc. Then with the Intersight, we can go and manage that. So in the lab, after this, you have 9 videos related to Intersight, and the lab also, you have the, you will see that with Intersight, how we can go and achieve this task. Then you need the integration with the hypervisor engine, that's your vSphere client, or maybe Microsoft hypervisors. Correct. So this is actually the overall infrastructure that we have. We are going to use in the lab as well. In the lab also, you will find HX220 type of physical hardware that we are using, but you will find that you have all node or all flash. We'll see that in the upcoming section, that what different type of hardware blocks we have. Okay, again the same thing here in different picture. In collapse mode, you can see that you have all file blocks, you have hypervisors, you have your control VM, and then you have snaps, then you have the individual VMs like this. Now clearly you will find here is that you need minimum 3 homogeneous nodes. Why? Because in that case, at least 2 of these nodes, they are going to use as a data replicator, and third node is required for continuous operation in the event if any of the node will go down. Anyways, if you check any SDN fabric, you'll find that either it's a Epic controller or vManage in case of SD-WAN. Everywhere Cisco recommendation is that you should use 3 controllers in a fabric. So here also in a cluster, it is recommended that you should use 3 in a cluster or in a fabric, correct? Great. Now we have 2 different type of nodes here. One is hybrid node. So what this hybrid node is doing, that it uses SSD drive for caching and HDD for capacity layer. Now, in case of all flash nodes, it is also using SSD drives storage for caching and SSD, but here you can see the SSD drive. So here you have SSD drive and SSD drive for the capacity in all flash node, but in hybrid node you have SSD plus HSD. In all flash node you have SSD plus SSD for capacity. Wow. So different type of nodes, you will see that we have Hyperflex HX220C M5. It has 8 drives for disk capacity and in 2 socket 1 RU. And then you have HX240, obviously after 220 you have 240, and it has 23 drives and 2 socket. It is having 2 rack unit, 2 RU. And then you have the edge nodes as well. Why you need edge node? Because if you have the deployment at the branch, so you can see that if you have a remote and the branch location related to retail, finance, education, healthcare, transportation, manufacturing, etc. So you can go and use the edge nodes. It's easy to use, easy to deploy and manage. Okay, so these are the different type of hyperflexes we have. They have 2 flavor. They are in hybrid or all flash. In hybrid, SSD plus HDD, and all flash you have SSD plus SSD both for storage and capacity. And again you have 3 different type of nodes. So you have HX220 hybrid and all flash, you have HX240 hybrid and all flash, and then we have the edge node as well. In the lab section I'm going to show you the lab with respect to the edge node deployment. Okay. All right, so let's stop here. After this, you have 9 videos related to Intersight, and then 3 videos I'm going to record for the lab section.
Hi everyone, welcome to Cisco Intersight Basics with Lab. In this particular course, you will learn about what is the Cisco latest innovation in say cloud-based data center infrastructure, and that is the Intersight we have. Like with help of Intersight, we can easily manage the UCS systems and the flex pods inside the data center. That is the one thing. Apart from that, we have the lab section where I will show you the steps to claim the UCS manager, about the dashboard overview, how to add or delete the dashboard, what about the licenses, how we can manage our UCS manager with help of Intersight, and then finally we can delete the claim device and how we can send the feedback to the Cisco engineers. So I hope this particular course will be very informative to you and you will learn about Cisco Intersight in this particular course. Let us talk about Cisco Intersight and what innovation we have inside this Intersight. Here you can see in this diagram, say suppose if you know Cisco Meraki, how this Cisco Meraki operates. Inside Cisco Meraki we have cloud-based dashboard. From there we are easily managing say Meraki security appliances, Meraki switches, cameras, phones, all the Meraki devices. So likewise the concept is that from the Cisco Intersight or from the cloud controller or cloud dashboard can be managed say UCS and the Hyperflex. Okay, and the answer is yes. With help of this new innovation, we can manage our UCS systems and the FlexPod system. So that is the overall goal of this Cisco Intersight, that with help of you can say SaaS application, that is software as a service application, we can easily manage the underlay infrastructure. Underlay you can think here as a UCS and FlexPod. Now while using such type of innovation, what benefits that customers have? So customer, they will have the unified management, they have SaaS based management plane, you can say like that. Then the recommendation engines like embedded recommendation platform with Intersight source from across Cisco install base and to alert for each customer. Then we have enhanced support experience, like easily we can open attack case. The programmability feature is obviously there. So we have some native APIs and these things are integrated with say DevOps development team. Then they are writing new app, new features, and behind the scene they are integrating all those features with the Intersight. Okay, and then finally we have no impact transition. So these features are there still. If you want to talk about the features or the advantages we have with the cloud-based system manager or management, so here let's see what Gartner says. According to Gartner, say 90% of organizations will adopt hybrid infrastructure management by 2020. That is the one thing. The second important thing, that the growing large quantity of configuration data points and connections aggregated from data centers deployments, edge cloud and IoT will increase IT op complexity. Means there is increase of complexity due to adaptation of new application and new strategies and new infrastructure, say in terms of IoT or some other cloud-based application or other stuffs. Okay, so complexity will increase. Now if the complexity will increase, then do we have a common dashboard or common management plane from where I can manage the entire infrastructure? And that's why the Cisco has introduced that Cisco Intersight. Through 22 to 80% of organization implementing cloud management will need at minimum 4 tools to address hybrid and multi-cloud management requirements. So because the complexity is increasing, we need such type of adaptive, such type of cloud-based management engine where the customer means they are not focused on the development of the adaptive system, rather they are focused on their services. So their services or their applications, their policies are running over say UCS managers or UCS boxes plus the Hyperflex boxes like that. So these are the things that to reduce the complexity and to increase the adaptability, we have such type of Cisco Intersight cloud-based or say hosted application from where we can easily manage the entire data center. Okay. So here you can refer this particular slide. Again, here you can see that with help of Intersight, I can manage this say UCS director, central manager, IMC, okay, manage controller, etc. And these are the initial Intersight release where we have the telemetry data collection, platform compliance, UI launch, dashboard. We'll see about this dashboard in the lab section, plus the deployment. So I will show you that how we can integrate say UCS manager inside my Cisco Intersight. We'll see all those things in the lab section. And then finally we have two licenses. One is the free license, that is the base edition. One is the essential license that will include all the things inside the free license plus some add-ons. So what are there in free license? You can see that it supports Cisco UCS and Hyperflex system. First, it has global monitoring of health and inventory. Second, means inside the dashboard we can monitor that. Then user customizable dashboard. We have that customized option for the dashboard for different users. Tagging and basic search. Context launch of element manager like UCS manager, IMC, Hyperflex. Hyperflex installer, quick deploy cluster. So these things are there in the base license. In the essential edition, everything inside the base, plus we have some advanced feature like firmware management, inventory and server action, HCL compliance check, virtual KVM. Okay, so you can correlate this base license and the advanced feature. Let us talk about Cisco Intersight architecture overview. And here we can see that with Cisco Intersight we can manage say UCS manager, IMC, that is the integrated management controller, the Hyperflex connect, the UCS director. So these things we can manage from my Intersight. And what are the benefits say with respect to cloud management? We have benefits such as the cloud-based data center management. Then we have global multi-site data center edge management. We have recommendation engine. That means that all the time behind the scene, this cloud based controllers, they are updating themselves. We have real-time analytics, machine learning. Means these are the benefits, or you can say the innovations inside the Cisco Intersight, that these they have these capabilities. Then they have the forecasting capabilities. Now this is with respect to say cloud managed. Then with respect to DevOps, they are doing the continuous integration, continuous delivery. Service are added with no disruption to the customers. Means customer, even they don't know that what type of integration or patching they are doing behind the scene to up the scale or to enhance the capability features of the Intersight. Then finally we have the continuous monitoring. So all such features we have in the cloud-based Intersight. Now here in the diagram you can see that not only we have this option or the capability of Cisco Intersight as a SaaS, software as a service, but we have this option of on-premises as well. So on-premises I can manage my Hyperflex, my UCS, C, S series, Unified Computing Systems, UCS Mini, etc. That's the one thing. And here you can see it is something termed as a management as a service, where we have the features of telemetry, analytics, policy-based orchestration. We have App Store, we have secure and compliant option, API-driven DevOps enable. So this is again very important. Means continuous innovation is going on, continuous application development is going on with respect to that. And then finally we have connected with TAC, means we have very good backend support from Cisco. So all these things we have with this cloud feature, with this cloud management feature, you can say. Finally, what type of services we have, we'll learn this in the upcoming lab. So here you can see that we have profile service, we have policy service. In profile service we have profiles with respect to server, fabric, HX, a cluster and the node profile. And with respect to policy, we have VNIC policy, firmware policy, server BIOS policy, storage, fabric policy. Then we have HX cluster policy. So we have policies say with respect to UCS and plus with respect to Hyperflex. Okay, so these things are there. Finally, you can see that Intersight continuous integration and delivery. So we have integration say in terms of build, test, release, operate. And here you can see that microservices, DevOps, independent delivery, always on, rolling upgrades, horizontal in scale. So these things, even the customer, they are not knowing these things, but the developers, they are developing the services, or you can say the microservices, and they are continuously patching these services inside this life cycle. So we have this build, test, release and operate, and it is going on. So all these services, say service 1, 2, 3, 4, developers, they are developing these services, they are patching this inside this Intersight. Okay, so this is the overview of what type of architecture we have for this particular cloud-based managed software. In this section we'll learn that how we can claim device. Claim device means how we can connect say UCS manager with our Cisco Intersight. You need to log into your UCS manager. You have to go inside the admin and then the device connector. From there you will get the device ID and the claim code. Now these device ID and the claim code we are going to use inside the Intersight. So you need to log into the Intersight. Inside the Intersight, suppose if you don't have account, you can create your new account. You can accept all the terms condition. Once you create that account, then it will ask you about your account name, the device ID and the claim code that we have taken from the UCS manager. We can put it here and we can create. Once you create this, once you log in, then it will ask you that okay, you want to take a site tour, or how you can add a user, a group, etc. All these stuffs. You can click close and you can move on. Now once you move on, then you'll get this dashboard say inside this dashboard you can go and click to the devices where you have newly added the device. Now suppose if you want to again add say UCS manager 2, 3 and 4, then the same process you have to do. You have to go inside the device connector, you need the device ID and the claim code, and then you can put here. Once you put the device ID and the claim code, then finally you will get this type of device page where you have added all the devices that is claimed. Okay, so let me show you this, that how we can do. Let me log to the Intersight and all the UCS manager, and then I'll show you step by step that how you can claim or you can connect the UCS managers inside the Cisco Intersight. So let me log. Here I am inside intersight.com, and say if I don't have account, then I can go and click create account, continue, then it will go to the Cisco site where I need to put my username and the password. We'll wait. Once I put the username and password, then I need to accept this, and these are the very straightforward things that you can do. Now it is asking for the account name, device ID and the claim code. So let me go to my UCS manager, say 1, from where I can take the device ID and the claim code. Parallelly what I'll do, I will parallelly log into UCS manager 2 and 3 as well. Let me log into all the UCS manager because it will take some time to log in. So we'll log in. Here as well, admin and the password. So it is already, I think, used, so that's why it is not allowing me to log in. No problem. So if I log into any of the UCS manager, then I'll show you that how we can go and take the device ID and the claim code. I log in inside UCS manager 3. Let me go click admin and then the device connector. Here you can see that Intersight management is enabled, and here I have the device ID and the claim code. So let me copy and paste this device ID and the claim code. So account name is say basic. Let me go and copy the claim code as well. Let me put that claim code and then create. Once you click create, then click here log me in. Now here you can see that it is logging to the dashboard. I don't want any tour. If you want, you can go and have a tour. Now I will click here to the dashboard. You can see here we have options related to server, Hyperflex cluster, fabric interconnect, service profile policies and devices. So in the next section we'll learn about the dashboard, what are the things we have inside this. But let us go inside this devices. Here you can see that UCS manager 3 is connected, and you can see that details about the UCS manager 3. I can go to the devices. Now if I go back to the UCS manager 3, here you can see still it is showing not claimed. So let me re-log in this one more time, because this time you will see that it is claimed. Okay. Let me log in. I can go to admin and then I can go click to device connector. Here you can see the connection and it is claimed. Okay, so this is the process that we can connect a device. So let me connect all the other devices which are available, all the other usage managers which are available, and let me connect to my Cisco Intersight, and the process is again the same. So what I will do, I will copy paste the device ID and the claim code, and I will go and paste inside Intersight. Now this time what I will do, I'll go and click here to the claim a new device. So you have to come here, claim a new device. You need device ID and the claim code. Device ID already I copied. Let me copy the claim code, and you can come here and you can paste the claim code as well, and then click claim. Okay, so this way we can add all our usage manager. So whatever usage manager are left, I will add it offline. In this section we'll learn about the dashboard. So once you log in, then you can see that you have this dashboard. Inside that dashboard you will get informations about, say, server, Hyperflex cluster, and their registry. Here you can see how many are registered, what is the health status. So all those stuffs will get. Let me log into the device, and from there I'll show you that how you can check all these options inside the dashboard. Inside my Intersight, and here you can see that server health system, it is showing that 16 is healthy. Now if I click to that 16, now it is going inside the health and it is showing that okay, this server, so actually it is coming inside the server. So let me show you like this. So here you have the options related to dashboard, server, Hyperflex, Fabric Interconnect, service profile, policies, and devices. Now these are the servers I have inside Usage Manager 3 and 4. It is listing all the server. Even you have the search option as well. You can search as well. Okay, so let me go back to the dashboard. So let me click here to the dashboard. Let me scroll it down. You can see Fabric Interconnect inventory, server inventory. So that means if you click here to the Fabric Interconnect in inventory, obviously you will go inside Fabric Interconnect. So here you can see Fabric Interconnect. Even I can click here to Fabric Interconnect. It's showing that I have 4 FI, so FIA-B, 4 UCS Manager 3 and 4, like that we have. I can click to say UCS Manager 4 FIB, and then we'll get the detail about that. Now remember, this particular software is hosted over cloud. That means we are getting the information from the cloud, but still you can see that it is fast enough that we are getting all the information. It's showing that it is healthy, and then the other stuffs. Okay, again let us go back to the dashboard, because say dashboard, you can think dashboard is a common place from where you can go to any other sections inside the Intersight component. Okay, so from dashboard we are moving to the other places. Then the server version summary, server model summary, the Hyperflex information, Hyperflex cluster alarms, then server HCL status summary, all sorts of information we have. And finally this feature can be enabled with the Cisco Intersight Essential license. Okay, so you can go to the license section and then you can enable these type of features that we have discussed earlier, that what are there in the free license or the base license and what is there in the essentials, that we can compare. Now if you want to learn about the new features, you can click to learn more, and here you can see what are the new features added. Say added Hyperflex data platform, support to Hyperflex cluster profile for Hyperflex installation. For more information you can click and check the Hyperflex cluster deployment, ability for Cisco TAC access, tech support, Intersight Essential, server images. So all sort of new features, list of new features you will get from here. Okay. Now here in the top section, in this section you can see that we have the alerts and the search and the other options. So let me show you all these things one by one. So this is the task. At the moment there is no active task. A task completed in last 24 hours, that is one thing. Then we have the setting where we have the audit log, sessions, licensing and the other settings. Then we have search. So suppose if I search UCS, say UCS, now it will search, you'll get that search result here, and you can see that this search is quite robust. Even we have this help option as well. What type of help you want, say take a site tour, learn how to claim new device and all sort of stuffs, then we can send the feedback as well. Okay, now here you have this user preference. Inside user preference you can go and you can change the theme. Say from dark you can use light. Then you have UI settings, sidebar, expand and hover. Then the language preference, you can save it. Now we have this type of display which is lighter, whatever we have used. Okay, now again let me show you the other stuffs as well. So let us click here to the server and check the servers. So because I have UCS Manager 3 and 4, so you have all sort of information about UCS Manager 3 and 4. Even you can go here, you can click, you can check this, you can check the inventory, and some sort of licensings are also required, no problem. Then we can go to Hyperflex clusters. At the moment we don't have any clusters here, that will be blank. Then I can go inside the Fabric Interconnect, and these are the Fabric Interconnects we have. Let me change the profile light to dark. Okay, then we have the service profile. So service profiles will check in the upcoming section. Then finally we have the policies, so license required, and then the devices that we have already seen. So this is the overall tour of the dashboard, and let me go here and take a site tour. Let me click there. Yes, I want to continue. So welcome to Cisco Intersight. Cisco Intersight provides a single pane of glass consisting operations model, unified experience for managed all UCS and Hyperflex system and solution in your environment. This is the tour for Cisco Intersight. So click here to open the menu. Okay. Then inside the dashboard, whatever things you'll get, you have that list. Then the server, then the Hyperflex clusters, then the Fabric interconnects, then the service profile, then the policies, then the devices, then the alarms, task, search, setting, help, profile. Okay, and we are done. Okay, so this was the dashboard tour. In this section we'll learn that how we can add and remove a dashboard, and for that you can go here to the dashboard. You can see here the plus sign. If you click the plus sign, then you'll get that option to add a new dashboard. Okay, and you can add some wizard inside that dashboard. Finally, if you want, you can again click here to edit, rename and delete. So we have the delete option as well. Okay, so let me go to my dashboard. From there I will show you how we can do this add and delete of dashboard. I'm here inside my Intersight. Let me go to my dashboard. Here you can see that plus sign is here. Click to the plus sign. Once you click to the plus sign, then you'll get a widget library from where you can select. So what you want to select, say Fabric Interconnect Health Summary, yes. Then again we have add wizard. Fabric widget has been added. Then say Fabric Interconnect Inventory. Then Fabric Interconnect Version Summary, Hyperflex. So let us add this Hyperflex as well. We can go back as well like this. It is disabled here. Obviously we don't have Hyperflex, so leave it. Let's scroll down. We have options related to Hyperflex. Then we have this license status. Add this widget because we are using the base license. It's okay. Then we have server inventory. Let me go and add the server inventory as well. Let's scroll down. Server model summary. Let's go and select and add this. Then we have some profile and some other options as well. So let me add the profile, server version summary. Let me just scroll up so I can see the server profile summary. I can go here, I can add this. So once I'm done with all this adding of this thing, I can close this. Now you can see that I have dashboard 1, dashboard 2. So this is my parent dashboard where I have all those features. This is my other dashboard where I have added few features or few things that I want to observe, like Fabric Interconnect license and server health. Say if I click to the license, obviously it will go inside the license where it will show you the difference between the base and the essential that we have already covered, and at the moment the current is the base one. Okay, so I can go back again, and inside this dashboard we have other things as well that we have already checked. Say for example, if I go to the server health summary, I can go and check. Okay, now for example, suppose if you want to change the dashboard name, so here we can click to the edit and we have the option to click rename, and then here I can type a few server features. So I can click and I can edit like this. Finally, suppose if you want to delete this, you can go here, click delete. Delete the dashboard. You want to delete the dashboard? Yes, I want to delete it. Click delete, and now you can delete this dashboard. So this is the way that we can create new dashboard, we can add the widgets, and then we can delete. Now I'll show you that how you can activate the trial essential licenses. Let's just talk about the licenses first, and then I'll show you that how you can go to the settings, and from there you can activate 90 days license period. We know that we have two types of licenses. One is the base license, means by default it will be there, that is free. And then we have the essential license. In base license, what features we have? So it supports the Cisco, UCS and Hyperflex system, global inventory, health status, global search. So whatever things that we have inside the dashboard at the moment, we can see that it is supported by the base license, and some of the fields you have seen that it require license enablement. So if we enable the license, then those features also will pop up, or we can access those features as well. So what are those features? Those features are, say, C-series management, policy-based configuration through service profile, firmware management, virtual KVM, server HCL compliance check, detailed inventory, and the server action. Okay, so what you have to do here, we have this option called the start evaluation. You can go there and you can click. So once you click, then what will happen, that the 90 days evaluation period will start. Okay, so let me go log to the device and I'll show you that how we can do that. So for that you need to go inside the settings. So let me click here to the settings. Inside settings you can see the licenses. Now inside these licenses I can click here to start evaluation period. Start evaluation 90 days. You have 90 days to explore the features of Intersight Essentials. After that evaluation period, you will automatically place back to the base license. You want to continue? Yes. Now your trial period has been started, and here you can see the current is essential. So now we have the 90-day license period. Now if I go inside the dashboard and if I check, some of the features were not there initially. Now if I scroll down, now this is okay, the status is trial, but now we can see that all the features we can access, even the SCL status summary, that is the 16 and incomplete. Now we can access all these features, correct? So initially you have seen that in previous recording, some of the features, when we click here, it was showing that yeah, you need the licenses. Now we don't need, and we can check, we can learn, we can explore more features for 90 days, and then we can purchase that license. Otherwise it will fall back to the base license. In this section we'll learn that from Intersight how I can manage my UCS manager. Okay, so we have UCS manager 3 and 4 registered inside my Intersight, and we'll see that how we can launch a particular say UCS manager, and then how we can play around with that. So suppose what I will do, I'll go inside my Intersight, I will launch the UCS manager say 3. Once the UCS manager 3 is launched, then I'll create one BIOS policy. I will create any test type of BIOS policy, and then I'll close it. Then I'll again log in this via my normal GUI mode, and from there I will verify that whatever I have created from my Intersight, is that policy is there in my UCS manager or not. Okay, so that is the one thing. The other thing, that inside Intersight also we have option to create the policies and the profile. That also will verify. So I will go inside say policies, and I'll create one BIOS policy. Here you can see that server policy, BIOS policy. Once I create that policy, then again I will go inside profile. So here I can go inside the profile, and I can create one profile where I'll call the policy. Okay, so let me log in and I will show you all these steps. So here I am inside my Intersight. Let me go to the devices. I registered only two UCS manager 2 and 3. So let me go and launch say UCS manager 3. Here you can see I have option launch UCS manager plus launch CLI. So both options I have. Let me launch the GUI from the Intersight. Now it is loading. So once we load, then what we'll do, we'll go inside the server, and then we'll create one policy called BIOS policy. And once it launch, then you'll find that same type of options that we have with the UCS manager. Here also you'll get that. So here it is, you can see all those options that we have with the UCS manager. Here we have those options. So say I can go inside the server, and inside server say I want to create BIOS policy. So let me create one BIOS policy, test BIOS. Okay, test BIOS created successfully. Okay, now what I will do, I'll log out from here, means I will exit from here, from this UCS manager. Yes, I want to exit. Then I'll go and log UCS manager 3, and we'll check that do we have that BIOS policy. So here I am inside my UCS manager 3. I'm loading that UCS manager. Let me log into this. I logged in here, you can see that we have the same options. I can go to the server, Inside the BIOS policy, you can see test BIOS is created. So that is the one way that we can do that. Okay. The other option we have inside the Intersight, that inside that Intersight we have options related to policies and profile. So here you can see the service profile and policies. So let me go and click to policies first. Here we have policies, say with respect to Hyperflex policies and the server policies. Let me click to the server policy. So here we'll get the option that create server policy. I will go and suppose I want to create a BIOS policy. From say Intersight. Then we have option of description and tag, leave it. We'll click next. And I want to create this. Say here I have option to add several things, but it's okay. I have taken as default. Now I can go to the profiles, that is the service profile. Let me click there to service profile. Now in the service profile also you have the Hyperflex cluster profile and the server profile. You can click to the server profile. You can create server profile. Here I can give name as say server, say Intersight. Profile something. Now I can click next. Now it is loading, means it is going to the next. Here I can click to the BIOS, and if I click to the BIOS, say I have this option to select from Intersight, and likewise that we are using in the UCS manager, then you have all sorts of option here. So boot order, device connector, IPMI, LDAP, NTP, everything we have. Okay. So suppose if you know how this UCS manager service profile works, in the same way you can create all those things here, and finally you can click next to create it. So then we have the server assignment, and this we can assign, say assign server letter, next. Then we have the summary. Okay, and here you can see what's the name of the server profile is the server Intersight. Then what policy we have inside that, we have BIOS policy, say from inside, and then we can save it. Okay, so I'm just showing you that what is the way that you can create a service profile from your Intersight. Okay, and you can use it for the future operations. Okay, so this is the way that from Intersight I can open the UCS manager first, and secondly how I can create the policies and profile from my Intersight. In this section I will show you that how you can delete the claimed devices, and then further how you can send the feedback. Okay, so obviously to delete the devices you have to go inside the devices. You can select and click here to delete, it will delete. And for the feedback you have to go in the help section and send the feedback. Okay, finally you have some references from where you can get the knowledge about the Intersight, so you can use these URLs for further learning. Okay, so let me log to the Intersight and I'll show you how to send the feedback and how to delete the devices. Logged into the Intersight, let me go to the devices first. So inside devices, what I can do here, that I can select all the devices, and then I have this delete option. You want to remove from the Intersight? Yes, I want to, and poof, things are deleted. Now I can go to the help, and then I have this send us feedback. Us means you are sending the feedback to the Cisco engineers, and you can leave a comment here, and then you can submit it. Okay, and here you have option like poor, fair, good, excellent, and you can send the feedback as well. Okay, so this is the way that we can delete the devices and send the feedback.
In this section, we want to do the deployment of Hyperflex with respect to Intersight, and we are going to use the GUI method. So let's go and start this. Let me go and log into the Intersight. Once we are inside the Intersight, you can see that we have options here. You can see that we have the service. Let's see. We are inside the menu, and you can see on the top, I can go and hide the menu. I can go and show you the menu. So here we have two Hyperflex, actually nodes, and those numbers you can see 220 M5SX, although the font size is small. But yeah, we have two here in this particular lab, and we want to do the edge deployment for the Hyperflex. So we can go to the profile. I'm going to walk you through all the steps required to do the deployment. We can go on the top. You can see that we have create Hyperflex cluster profile, and we want to do the edge deployment. So select the edge and then go next. Let me go back. Just wanted to show you something. So here you can see that we have the compute platform as a ESXi and the storage as Hyperflex. Correct. Now here you can see that we have the workflow, general, node assignment, cluster configuration, node configuration, summary, and result. So we need to follow that workflow. Here I'll go and give the name. Let me go and give the name, and let me type here. And the name I want to give cluster 1. And the version we can go and pick. So version I want to pick 4.51a. The rest of the things we can leave it. Okay. Now we can go to the next. We'll go to the node assignment. And here you can see that we have two nodes. I can go and select these nodes because I want to do the deployment for the both, or you can select from top as well. So you don't have the option here to go like that. Okay. So we have this option, and obviously if you have more numbers, you can go and use the filters. You have the option to export as well. Great. So assign node later. We'll use assign nodes now, and then we can go to the next. Once we reach to the next tab, then it will ask you various things related to security, DNS, vCenters, storage configuration, or to support. So many things. Let's check one by one everything. Security. Let's give the password. And I'm giving the confirm password. But it's actually easy, and the workflow, we can see that simply we need to go and follow the workflow. So we don't need much knowledge here to do these jobs. Correct. So once we go and give the security password, then let's go to the next. We have the DNS NTP and the time zone. So the time zone, I should go and give the time zone, and let's check that. If I can go and check we have, okay, and if I can go and search like this, but yeah, we can go and give any time zone that we are at the moment in. Then the DNS suffix, let me go and give that. And then the DNS server, that should be the IP address. And then the NTP server. Great. So once we have this information, and then we can go and give the information related to vCenter. So what's the FQDN we have for vCenter?
Yeah, this is username and a password. So let me give that vsphere and dot local, then the password. Okay, and then the DC name. DC name is okay. Great. So this information is also good. Then we can go and give the storage configuration. What we want any optimization used here. VDI optimization. I'll give, and then we can go and check the auto support. I can leave this as default, no problem. Then we have to go and give the node IP address ranges. Okay, so now here you'll see that the management network set starting IP and then the ending IP, then the subnet mask and the gateway, correct? So let's give this IP addresses. We have one IP range that we can go and use here. And what I can do here, I can copy this because we're going to use same type of IPs everywhere. Starting with 101, then 102, then the subnet mask. Let me use this subnet mask and then the gateway. So the gateway that we have everywhere is this. Then the controller VM, we know that we have the controller VM management network IPs as well. And let's just start these IPs from 3. So 3, 4, and then the subnet I will use the same. And then here also we need to give the gateway address. So the gateway address that I can give here is the same that we have given on the top. All right. So these are the very basic configurations that we are putting here. And we have put these informations that you can see. Now we can go and give the network configuration information, proxy setting if it is required. And then finally, you can see that we have information related to Hyperflex storage network. So let's go and configure the network configuration, and let me scroll a little bit down. You can see that uplink speed, I can go and change. So 10 gig plus Hyperflex Edge, and then the MAC addresses, start and end, I'll give the same. And then the VLAN management ID that it is asking, I'll give 0, VLAN 0 at the moment. We have this jumbo frame, we'll leave it as default. Then let's minimize this. Proxy setting, we don't have proxy, so we can leave this proxy. And then finally, we have the Hyperflex storage networking. The VLAN ID that I want to use for this is 100. Great, so we have given all these parameters which is required. Now we can move to the fourth option, that is the node configuration. So we can go there. So let's go to the fourth one, and then it is asking cluster management IP. So cluster management IP is nothing but 100. And then the MAC address I'll use 00. And the rest everything seems okay. Now what we can do here, that we can go and expand this. So 2 nodes are there. You can see here that cluster 1, 1 and 1, 2. And if you go and expand it, you will see the details that whatever we have. So we have 2 edge here, edge 1, 1 and 1, 2. And for that, the hypervisor IP is 101, for other one is 102. The storage controller IP is 103, the other storage controller IP 104. So 101 and 103, and then 102 and 104 for the other one, correct? So we are very much good at this point. We can go next, because now we can go and summarize everything. We are in the 5th workflow. So we can summarize anything if you want. If you see anything wrong here, you can go and change that. Here I'm getting one error. The Hyperflex edge deployment use replication factor of 2. The risk of outage. We know this thing that you need at least 3 because 2 are there for replication and 1 is there for caching, correct? So that's okay. Now we can validate it. We can use validate and deploy. So I'll go and click validate and deploy. And now it is working fine. It will take approx 2 hours to do the deployment. Here you can see that only 5% got deployed. So once this will get deployed, I'll come back and we can go and check this. Okay. So let's stop here. And once it will be live, we'll come and we'll verify a few things. It took approx 2 hours to do the installation. And once we have done the installation, then let me quickly show you that you can go and check these informations as well. So you'll find that we have 2 physical hyperconnect and plus 1 cluster as well. And you can see that we have hyperconnect 1 and 2. This is connected here, but if you go and check the target, so inside the target, you will see that, yeah, we have one fabric as well. And then from target, I will show you that how you can go and actually you can open Hyperconnect web page or the GUI page. Okay, so I'm going to show you that, but before going there, you can see that we have various tabs here. And if you have followed my course, complete Intersight course, previous 8-9 videos that I have uploaded before this video, so at least you know that how you can go and work inside the Intersight, correct? So what are the tabs we have and which is doing what and other stuffs. Great. So knowing that thing, let me quickly show you that once you go inside the policies, we haven't created any policy, but the Intersight automation, they have created the policy for us related to the Hyperflex. So here you can see that we have good amount of policies that is created automatically. What we have done earlier, that we had created the profile, correct? And from this profile, we have done the deployment. Great. So next thing I just wanted to show you that you can go to the target. And from target, you can see, although there are multiple ways to reach there. So you can go to the target and top, you can see that you have these 3 dots, dcloud HX cluster 1. You can click here and you can see launch Hyperflex Connect. That's one way. Other way, what you can do, you can go and check the Hyperflex clusters. So once you go inside the cluster, we'll see that you'll get the information about the cluster. And we can see that we have all these options here. You can see that we have the cluster, and then you can go here and you can check the launch Hyperflex Connect, run the health check, upgrade, and configure backup, etc. Okay, so what I will do here, I will go to the targets. Let's go there and let's check rest of the connections or attachments that we have. We can go and click to the Hyperflex Connect. Once you go and click there, you'll find that the new page related to Hyperflex will come. And you will find that you can again go and check various things from here. So suppose if you want to check the performance, you can go and check the performance. So clearly you can see that the performance related to the cluster, and here you will see that's the IOPS throughput, latency, etc. Then here itself, you can go and check. So let me quickly show you. Let me show you the menu. First, let me expand that menu. So you can see that various tabs that we have here. The moment it is a little bit slow. You have system information, you have data store, because we want to create the data store as well. In the next lab, I will show that how you can go and create the data store, or if time permit, I will show you here itself. So here you can see that you have the system information in detail. You can go and you can check 101, 102, both are online, working fine at the moment for us. Then we can go inside the data store. Let's see. So at the moment it is empty, but we can go and create the data store. I'll come back to this tab after 5 minutes. Before that, let's check all these options that we have. Correct. Now, let's go back to the system information here. And I want to open one more tab because I want to show you the VMware vCenter. So from VMware vCenter, how we can go and manage the data stores, how we can go and manage the virtual environment, that I want to show you. So once you go here and once you go inside this, let me quickly show you that what VMs we have here. So I can go to home. Let's go back to the home first. Let me close this warning message. So once we are inside the home, you can go and check the host and clusters. I just wanted to see the virtual machine information. So here you can see that this vSphere cluster and this data center that you can see here, it was not there earlier. So once we have done the full deployment, then it is showing here, then it is coming up here, correct? Now, you can see that we have ESXi 1, 1, 1, and 1, 2. This is the edge 1 and edge 2 that is deployed over ESXi, and we have the data center as well. From here, what I want to show you here, you can first of all, let's check the data center. So you have your DC that we have configured earlier, and that detail you can see. But actually, I want to focus on data store. Before that, I'll show you the VM. So here you can see that these VMs are there. That's okay. No problem on that. Then let's go to the data store. Now we'll see that at the moment, it will show the local data store. Correct. We don't have the data store that is created inside the Hyperflex and replicated here. So what I can do here, I can go here and we have this data store option. Let's go there, create the data store, and I'll give the name. Let me give the name data store 1. And then the size, let me give the size 4, and this is in TB. Create the data store. Okay, so create the data store. I am clicking it to create here. Creating the data store name data store 1, 4 TB, size is 4. That's okay. Now if you go back here to the vSphere, and now you can see that we have data store showing unknown, but you will see that it will get synced. Correct. So simple point here is that you can see that Intersight is there for the operation and optimization and deployment. Hyperflex is there, and then one other connection is there. That's the data store. Rest of the things we have discussed earlier in our theoretical section, that how this connection communications are working. All right, so let's stop here. We will see that how we can go and do the deployment for the templates. So I'm going to show you all those steps. Now we have already Hyperflex session open. So let me go there and let me show you that inside the Hyperflex, inside the VM, you can see that 2 VMs are there, but we are going to create some VMs inside the vSphere client. And from there, you will see it will get replicated. Before going there, just wanted to show you here that we have our data store 1. Let's go back to vSphere client, and from here you can see that we are in the menu, we are inside the deployment page. I can do right click here, and then you can see that we have an option deployed OVF template. Once you click there, then it will ask you that where is your location from where you want to deploy the template. So we'll go and provide that. It's a local file, and let's go and give the location. So let me see that where I have that, maybe in download or inside the document or maybe inside the template. Let me quickly search that. And let me search that first. Let me check VM template. Yeah, so here, and then let me take that and let's upload this. I can go next. Inside that, yeah, that's correct location, and then compute. So compute is okay because in case of storage, I want to select the data store. So it's working in the back. Can go next. Data store. Next. And then finally the network, I want to select the VM network. So we have the VM network here. Next. Ready to complete. Yep. And now let's go here to the menu. Let's go to the VM and template. Inside that, let's go inside the VM. Once we are inside the VM, we can see that we have our CentOS server template 1, correct? Great. So this thing should be replicated to the Hyperflex that we have. I can go back here and we will go to the virtual machine. And you can see that we have this replication here now. From this, we can go and create the clone. So let's do the cloning. Ready clones, you can go and select that. A number of clones, suppose I want to create 50. Customization options are there. I don't want to give any custom options here. The VM name prefix, say infra server, and let me do this infra server. And in the bottom, you can see that it will go and create 50 servers like this. Power on the VM after cloning, yes, click clone. So now the job is started. And now if I go back to the VMware here, and now see how instantly it is creating 50 infra, cloning here. So how easy that we can go forth and create and play around this. That is one of the example I just wanted to highlight here. Great. So we have completed as per CCNP data center DC core, whatever important things related to actually the Intersight plus the Hyperflex. And now we are good to stop. So let's stop here. Now we reach to section 2.4 and 5, where we have to understand about UCS upgrade. So let's understand step by step what are the best practices that we have related to UCS upgrade. Now, one core thing here about upgrade is that upgrade is very important, and you can tell this is critical because as we are doing the vehicle maintenance, so we are doing the upgrade always as per the time schedules. We are going and checking the fuel tank. Means whenever you are going for maintenance and all those servicing, etc. So they are going to check each and everything, different components, and cohesively they are working inside that machine or not. Likewise, when we are doing any appliance upgrade, there are certain things that that new upgrade will achieve. So what are the things? Again, we will see in the next slide. But overall, in a summary, you can check the EUL parts, upgrade the patches, upgrade the drivers, address the faults. So that's the overall maintenance. Why we are doing maintenance? Because if time to time we are doing the maintenance, that means that particular appliance life will increase and supportivity and the performance will enhance, correct? So let me quickly show you that while we are doing the upgrade, the main features that we want that it should be there, and after the upgrade you'll find that different terms related to network quality, security, those things will enhance. So first of all, we want to improve the security. We know that time to time security patches are coming. Time to time the OS that is running inside the machine, inside the network appliances, they are getting vulnerable because new attacks, new things are coming into the market, and we need to upgrade that OS just to remediate all those issues. Okay, so that's why Cisco is suggesting, suppose if you're running 4.1, then it will suggest you 4.2 or 4.3, because as time progresses, you will find that critical bugs hitting, some vulnerabilities, etc. So always we are looking for a stable release. That's one of the main reason while doing the upgrade. Now, second very important thing is that you want to do upgrade because we know that in the Converse network, we have new applications and new features that is coming. And do my UCS system, they can understand those new codes, new features, etc. So sometimes we are doing the upgrade because we want to match the new feature with some other vendors, with some other integration that my system coexist. Correct. So just to maintain the ecosystem, we are doing that upgrade. Then obviously the quality, because if you do the upgrade, quality again, there are so many things related to quality. So maybe the user experience will enhance, maybe some new features due to that quality is increasing. Correct. So again, quality has different things like feature wise quality will improve, user experience quality will improve, overall appliance quality will improve. So again, so many things we have inside quality. Then ensure the compatibility. Again, the point number 2, that you are using new features because you are checking that this is compatible with newer integration or not. Again, in ensuring the compatibility, that compatible with new OS platform and infrastructure. Obviously, it should adapt the change. So that's the main thing here, the point 2 and 4. And finally, the vendor support. So often it is known that Cisco tax support, if you go and open the tag case, they will tell that, oh, your operating system that you are running is having default support or having best effort support. So if you go and upgrade your image to 4.x or 5.x, etc., then we'll give us, then we'll provide you the best support. But otherwise, if it is running less than this image, then we will provide best effort support. Means they can resolve it, they might not resolve it, but you can't tell anything because still you are not upgraded version, and you are prone for bugs and vulnerabilities. Correct. So this is the why behind why we are doing the upgrade. And now, while doing the upgrade, you will find that UCS, as we know that inside UCS, we have different components, and those components we have to create some sort of checklist. Oh, so your FI module reboots. Okay, you have issues inside your IO module. Okay, your drivers are not working. Okay, your VHVAs are not working, etc. So we need to go and create the checklist, because if we go as per the plan, so there are very less chance of failure. And even in the data center, time is a key, so you can't fail. And that's one thing. Second thing, that you have very limited time in that you have to do the upgrade. So these things are very important. Again, you can see as per the use case that outage during the upgrade, FI, fabric interconnect hardware issues, driver compatibility issues, too many call homes messages, not happy with the UCS overall upgrade performance, etc. So those are some of the grievances from the customers, that customer, they don't have the proper
upgrade experience or good experience related to the upgrade, because there are so much pinning points are there. Now customer, they may don't understand that how the OS and the IO module, they are doing the communication adapters and other small things inside your appliance. They are interconnecting, communicating, why your upgrade is not successful, etc. What they want, upgrade is scheduled, it's success or not, correct? And while this success factor was the time duration. So these things are very important while doing the upgrade. Now to achieve to the success, so we should have plan. So we can write it plan in a paper, or we can discuss in a group that, okay, this is the plan A, B, C, D, etc. According to that, we are going to do the upgrade. Because importantly, you'll find that you have very less downtime to do the upgrade. Now, while you're doing the system upgrade, what are the prerequisite? What are the things that you want and make in your checklist? So that's the list here. You can see that there are some prerequisite that document the current version, host operating system and the drivers, take the UCS full backup, XML, local storage, check the FIs, resolve any fault. Again, all these things will come in the upcoming slides in little bit more detail. So we'll discuss more about all these points. So disable alerts, download the firmware with PowerShell or any automation that tool that you are using. Then check the high availability verification like the FIs, then your components like IO modules, blades, adapters. For SAN, you have VHBAs. For network, you have VNAC, fabric failover, etc. Then what is your upgrade method? You want to do the upgrade auto install or manual? You want to use this type of manager, UCSM, UCS manager, or UCS central or Intersight. Now in this, we are going to discuss more and more about the Intersight, because we have full-blown sections that we have already discussed related to Intersight. Then if you have any mid-upgrade steps, like check the HAs, resolve any faults, etc. And finally, what's your backout procedures? If it got failed, you have done everything right as per plan, but still, if you do not succeed, then what is your backout procedure? Okay, so what we are going to do next, that we'll go and check the best practice one by one. So you can see that you have a step number, all a step. If we go and add total 9 steps, we are going to follow all these steps, and we'll check all these things in upcoming videos. Let us continue and check other stuffs as well. So we have all point number 1 to 9, and one by one we are going to exploring that. Now in this example, we will go and check that from Intersight, how we can go and get the references, how we can go and get the notifications that you have these issues. You can acknowledge, and then you can proceed for your upgrade. Correct. So what you need to do, simply go to Intersight, and we have complete session over Intersight in prior sections. It's very easy tool. You can go to the dashboard servers. Once you're inside the server, then you can go and check the health. So here you can see that it is clearly showing that health is critical or healthy. And then you can go and see that the HCL status, correct? Now, once we found this, then we can go and check the recommendations as well. So inside the server, you can see that we have this option that get the recommendation, and we can go and download the drivers and firmware. Now, it's very important that prior to do the upgrade, you should have the up-to-dated firmwares, correct? And that one of the recommendation I'll show in the upcoming slide. It's very easy that you can go and you can download the recommended drivers, and then once you have these recommended drivers, you can go and do the installation, correct? But step number, you can say that 4 is that you should have the recommended tools, the hardwares. Okay, so before doing the upgrade, you can see now we have completed a step number 1, that the notification. Then you can go and use the HCL tool. Then we should go and check the pre-upgrade checks. Very important again, what are the pre-upgrade checks we have? And here you can see that we have the complete list. So you should go and check the outdated configuration backup. If you have any critical major faults, if I reboot, if it is pending, you can go and check the NTP configuration as well. Now, very important point that your available boot flash space should not be, actually should not be uh, more than 70%, means you should have empty space 30%. Correct. Then we can go and check different type of failover. So either it's a VHVA failover, either it's a VNIC failover. We should go and check these things. Okay. Again, you can see that when we have the partition, you can see that you should not over congest the partitions. Correct. So you should have at least 30% space there in case the while doing the upgrade, if the operating system will grow, then your system will not go and crash. Okay, so you can see here that step number 4 is that prepare for firmware install. That means once you have all the pre-checks, then you should go and check that what type of firmwares you want prior to actual upgrade. Correct. Let's go and explore this option as well. Prepare for firmware install. And again, you can see that we have option. I told you earlier, we have option. You want to do the upgrade via UCSM, via UCS Central, via Intersight. You want to do manually, you want to do auto install. So auto install options are there. Manuals are also there. If someone want to do manual, so that is also there. But before doing the upgrade, again, we have this firmware install. What you can do, you can go to UCS Manager, equipment, you can go to the firmware management, and then you have this firmware auto install. Prepare firmware for firmware install, means you are ready for the firmware install. Why this step is important? Because before doing the actual upgrade, you should have the readiness. That's the key, readiness. So your actual upgrade is ready. Have you checklist all the readiness parameters? And that's the main reason we are doing this firmware install. Correct? So you can see, configure the notification, use online HCL tools. There are so many nice tools you can go and check. You do the pre-upgrade checks, then prepare the firmware install. And then the fifth step here we have in the list is use the fault suppression. Again, this is also very important. We should go and check what type of faults are there before doing the upgrade. And we have the option that we can go and do the suppression. Start fault separation. You can see that we can go to the equipment, and inside equipment you can see that chassis, server, IO modules. Inside the equipment general category, you'll find that we have option related to do the fault separation, related to do separation task properties. Correct. So you can see clearly, and it's very much GUI based, that mute button for UCS error states. System maintenance will not raise alarm to help desk. Can specify a time or completion of activity done on done on server chassis IOM level. So you can see it's done on chassis level, it's done on server level, it's done on IO level. Okay, so we can go and do the separation, fault separation during the migration. Now, the separation mechanism, and this is one of the pictorial representation here. You can see that the UCS manager, he is getting the events, and again, different pieces inside the UCS manager. Correct. So we have that option. Correct. We can go here and we can do the fault separation related to chassis, servers, and the IO modules. So it's okay. Again, if you want to check that where is what, you can go and refer this particular diagram. Correct. So UCS manager is there, and then he is taking all the pieces.
is doing the fault separation. So you can see that fault separation. And again, you can see that different type of monitoring engines that we have, either is IBM based or HP based or SNMP. Everything is like, okay, stop all these notifications because we are going to do the migration. We are going to be ready for the migration. All right, so we have completed up to a step number 5, and we can start with a step number 6 and the rest of the steps in the upcoming section. All right, so let's stop here. Let us continue for 2 more videos. So here I'm going to hit point number 6, 7, and 8. First of all, we have to use the baseline policy. What is the agenda here? So we should know that before upgrade, what are the errors, what are the issues we have, and then after the upgrade, what are the issues and errors are coming. Okay, so that's the thing, that we should notify the alerts and alarms before the upgrade and after the upgrade, and for that we can go and create the baseline policy. Okay, so while creating the baseline policy, this is some sort of marker that pre and post upgrade, what are the alarms and alerts we have that we should go and address. Correct, and that's why you can go and give the baseline expiration interval as 1 day, just to make sure that you understood that the pre and post alarm and alerts. Correct. The next step is very important, very critical. That is the backup. Now we have option that we can take full backup, and it's recommended that you can go and take the all configuration backup. You should go and take actually full backup. Correct. And now once you are taking the backup, you have option before the upgrade. You can take the backup, or you have auto backup enable. So you have your SFTP server where you are doing this auto backup, maybe daily or maybe weekly. It's up to us that how important that backup policy we have in our organization. Some of the organization, they are taking it daily, some they are taking weekly or bi-weekly, etc. So as per the backup policy, we can go and get these backups, or do this backup with respect to secure protocol such as SFTP. Correct. Again, one advantage when we are doing auto backup means that if you have any catastrophic failure, that means you have the backup. So you're not worried because you have some backup. You are taking, as per your backup policy, you are taking the backup. So if any failure is also there, that is unknown failure, etc., so we can recover from the backup. Correct. Now here you can see 2 auto thing. Setting the auto backup, it's very easy. We can go and set like this. You can see the policy backup and export. And then we have one option that automatic UCSM backup during auto install. So while doing auto install as well, we can set this auto. So 3 backup things are there. You can take the backup before your actual upgrade. You can create some backup policy for auto install, or during the installation as well. We can go and take the backup as the auto backup. So here you can see that perform the automatic full state backup during the firmware auto install operation, and performs a best practice full state backup, full state backup of system, and you have this backup file as .tgz. Great. Then again, this is again very important step number 8, that you use the fabric evacuation methodology. Why? Because you don't want to disturb the traffic. Correct. So what does it mean? Let me first of all explain you about this evacuation, what exactly it is doing, and then we'll come and discuss a little bit more about that. So you can see here that while in the normal operation, you can see that our traffic is load balanced, and it is using both the uplink FIA and FIB, and it is going from south to north. Correct. Now, when you're doing the upgrade, half of your system is shut down, for example, or it is in upgrade or maintenance mode, then your traffic, so your VNIC or your VHB traffic should be pinned or should be properly load balanced towards the other uplink, towards the other FIE. Correct? And we should do the configuration related to that, and that's with the help of proper evacuation method. So while we are doing the upgrade, and we don't want the disruption, we want minimum disruption. So at that time, we can go and configure the evac mode. So evac mode is on. That means it will go and check the traffic load balancing from one, for example, VNIC to other VNIC, or from one fabric A to fabric B, like that we can think. Correct? So that's the evacuation method we should use. And while we are doing that, you can see the normal operation and the featured operation or feature operation. So in that case, you can see the admin evac mode is on, operational evac mode, evacuation mode is on. Great. And how we can do that while doing the auto install? So while doing the auto install also, when you are doing that, when you go and open the install infrastructure firmware workflow, at that time you will get the evacuate option. Let me show you that. So you can see that when we are doing the install infrastructure firmware, in that we have a step number 2 in the workflow, install infrastructure firmware, where we have the evacuate option that we can go and check mark. Okay. Great. So we have completed up to point number 8. In next section, what I want to do, I'll go and do the summarization. So we have 1 point left. We'll discuss about that, UCS auto install or lightweight patching. And then we are good to complete this particular section. While doing the upgrade, we have option. So we know that we have option, and we have discussed about this earlier. We want to do manual, we want to do automated, we want to do via the UCS manager, center, or Intersight, correct? Now let's quickly check the manual versus auto upgrade process. Now, if we are doing manual upgrade, that means that we have to check mark each and every step, correct? So we have to start, say for example, activate the UCSM, check if UCSM upgrade validation passed the UCSM upgrade as the expected version, check the IOM, check the FIAs, check the subordinate inside FIAs, check the user acknowledgement, activate the primary, and then go for the failover, etc. Means we have to do all these steps, this checklist, one by one, step by step. There's a thing that when we are doing the manual firmware upgrade, then the other flavor that we have is auto install. Now, while we are doing the auto install, that means that UCS is giving us one workflow. And again, you know that when we are creating the service templates, when we are creating the service profiles, you know that we have the workflow. So in UCS, you have the workflow, nice workflows we have, that if you go and follow those workflow, then that will ensure that whatever you are doing step by step, those things will come inside the workflow. Not as exactly that you have in the manual steps, but they have their own defined steps. So while we are doing the auto install, you can see that it will go and check the prerequisite. Then it will check the package version. Then you can go and select the firmware package, then dependencies, and then it will go and do the upgrade. Correct? Means you want to do the upgrade, so you can go and you can follow the infrastructure firmware, server firmware, like that. Now, one nice thing inside auto upgrade is this, that the auto upgrade nowadays, they are understanding the software versus the hardware. So that means they will go internally and do the hardware enablement for software, plus they will go and do the firmware upgrade as well. Okay, and that's a good thing that we need not worry about how the things behind the scene they are upgrading. So we know that we have tight and high-end hardware, and those hardware where you have the where you have the NX OS operating systems and other firmware, software and packages, correct? So the auto upgrade will go and take care about that. All right, so this is related to these sections related to a UCS firmware software upgrade, and we have completed this section. So we are good. We can stop here now.
Hi everyone, thanks for listening this message. In recent times, we got messages that do we have any program, any course where we can go enroll and we will be very much eligible for the job market. What does it mean? That if you go and check the IT portals, you can see that you have different course packages for CCNA, then CCNP, then firewall, then cloud, then automation, etc. Right? So what we have done that we created one program for those engineers who want everything at one place and they are new to the market, or maybe they want to enhance their skill set. So we created such program, Joint. Joint is something like job-oriented internetworking training. Now in this program, you can see that we have added CCNA routing switching, cloud virtualization part of VMware, CCNA or associate level wireless knowledge, Cisco Meraki, Google Cloud associate level knowledge, not entire course, but how much you need to get clear in your interview, or when you are working on this cloud environment, you are not new to that cloud environment. Then Python, then routing switching, ASA firewall, and then we are adding firepower as well. So not only ASA firewall, but next generation firewall. Then we are going to add Cisco SD-WAN, Cisco DNA, etc. Like what we want, that we want to make this course as a complete package course, in terms that once you go and complete these areas, you can write in your profile, in your CV, that you know these technologies. And apart from that, not only this course, once you go and use the Joint 9, that's the code here, and if you apply, you will get maximum 85-86% discount on this course. So not only that we are offering the discount coupon, but apart from that, we are giving the lab, EVNG lab. So whoever will go and join this particular course, they will go and get the EVNG lab as well, so they can practice routing switching, right? So what you need a solid foundation, solid course where you can gain the technology knowledge. Then you need the lab environment where you can go and do hands-on practice. And then you can go and add these areas in your profile and go for interviews and all, right? So on other words, in simple words, I can tell this thing that if you go to Udemy or YouTube, I have so many different courses I created just to obviously earn money. So many courses I have, but this is the only course I created actually for the IT professionals, actually for you, where I want that you can go and get the job. That's why I have added whatever I have 15, 16 years of training experience. I have added all the best things from there. In terms of that you gain knowledge, whatever gray areas you have. Someone knows networking, don't know automation and cloud. Someone knows networking, they don't know firewalling technology, security areas. So that means that you can go enroll this course, gain the knowledge on those areas that you don't know. Or suppose if you have only 1 or 2 years of experience, then you can start this journey, complete the entire course within 5 to 6 months or maybe 3 months, and then add these things within your CV profile and get the job. So this is something like job oriented or career oriented training that is going to help you to get the job and right knowledge to showcase in your profile. All right, thanks for watching this video.